WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Don.
Give me a piece of wood. I'll eat it.
Hahn.
Peter, the most you sweat is at a buffet.
And Rosenberg.
I'll be honest, the one thing I miss about having an office is the taste of Steve Hart's nuts.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
3 o'clock in the big city, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on a Thursday as we get deeper into the month of November. So much to get into, and we'll get into all of it. The basketball, as Alan Hahn was a mush for the Knicks last night. A great night of hockey for the Rangers and the Devils. We've got a football game tonight. Jets, Patriots. Jets trying for their first 3-game winning streak in 2 years. Are you playing it? 13.5. Nice and juicy. Big steak dinner right there. What do you think?
You know what?
13.5.
I'm going to ponder it.
All right. While you're figuring out your microphone,
Yeah.
we'll move on to something else.
Well, my mic's on. What the hell's the matter with me?
Listen, it's not your fault.
It's not. Oh, it wasn't on?
There's a lot going. Apparently, 3 o'clock came as a huge surprise to everybody.
All of us. We were shocked. We were having delicious trail mix.
Yeah, really, it was the good trail mix. Although I don't understand why Alan thinks it was good because there was no raisins. I like a good raisin.
In the trail mix?
Yeah.
Yeah, in trail mix, I don't mind raisins.
But Alan made it seem like less raisins, better trail mix.
Well, because it's got a lot of
You're
chocolate.
completely misrepresenting. What I was saying is on a day like today, that kind of trail mix where it's just simply almonds, cashews, and chocolate, we get right to the point.
Right to the point.
Like
I
why
get
have all the extras in it? I don't need it all.
Right.
That's all I need, the sweet and the salty.
No, it's a
Because
beautiful.
that's what I am today. I'm sweet, but I'm a little
You're
salty.
a little salty. I get it.
So we'll get into all of it, but we start with a heavy heart today as we lost, in my mind, and I believe Alan and Peter will agree, a legend in the journalism business, and that is Larry Brooks. We had gotten word he was not well at the start of the NHL season, and he sent out a note that he was not going to be covering the beginning of the year, and Alan and I reached out to him, and he said he was in a fight, but he was up for the fight. So I was a little taken aback today when I had learned that he had passed away at the age of 75. Alan and I got to know him professionally and personally. And as hockey guys, I think, Alan, you'll agree, you can get your credential, you can get your job, you belong in the arena, you belong in the game, but you didn't feel like you were a part of it unless you got the nod or the conversation with Larry Brooks. Then you felt like you arrived. And that's how I felt. I'm calling Ranger games. I'm on the charter. And I didn't feel like I was a part of it until I'd walk into the Garden and Larry would nod his head and say, "Hello, Don." Or on the rare occasion, but appreciated nonetheless, he'd have a question or want to include you in the conversation. Then you felt like, all right, I must be someone because Larry didn't suffer fools. He didn't talk to just everybody. He was a great guy, don't get me wrong, but he was somebody of very few words. He did his job better than anybody. And if you were included in a Larry Brooks conversation, you felt privileged to be a part of that conversation. He lived and breathed hockey. And I'll do this, where I'll say one of the best. And when you say one of the best, you're covering your ass. Just in case somebody says to you, "Well, you don't think I'm the best?" No, I said one of the best. I'm including you. No, I'm going to say this with all the confidence of the world. He was the best hockey writer, period. He was the best because he put in the work. He did the time. So no one did it better than he did. No one. And he is certainly going to be missed. I know he's been missed at the Garden this year. I'm going to miss seeing him. And it's really a shame that we lost him at only 75 years old.
He's a guy that, when I left the hockey beat to go to basketball, maintained a connection with me that I never expected. Because, you move on to another sport, you're outside of it and all that stuff. And he would just consistently reach out, remark on things that I was reporting and all that stuff. And so that right away made you feel like, okay, so it's more than just, business relationship, right? Like he actually cared. You talk about the nod. I always joke about this, and it's something I'll never forget because I tweeted something earlier today about how when I was a young hockey writer and I came in, that was my first beat, first experience. I'm wet behind the ears, can't even pee straight. And I'm covering an NHL team. He walked in the locker room, and you were intimidated.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you're like, oh, what? I know he's going to have something now. And I got to be on my P's and Q's because, I don't know what he's going to have. I better be on alert. And there was also times where, as I found my way, I had a couple of big stories, and I had one I'll never forget that really caused a lot of trouble. Like I was getting heat in the locker room for it. I was public enemy number one. He happened to show up that day, and he gave me the Boba Fett nod. Star Wars fans know what I'm talking about. It's sort of like this is a scene in Empire Strikes Back where I know I'm being nerdy, but that's all right. This is emotional. But it's that nod where he just did this nod. It's all he did. Caught my eye and just nodded as if to say, like, I respect you. And that right there, I'm like, okay, wow, I got a nod from him. This guy. So it just gave you that kind of vote of confidence. He sent me after I'm covering the NBA. The Knicks weren't good. They weren't in the playoffs. The Rangers were. I saved this text. I was going through texts that he and I had over the years. And the one that made me laugh the most, Donnie, he said, so why does Newsday have non-hockey foofs doing Rangers when you're available?
Yeah, that's
Why does Newsday have non?
That's him saying to me, you're more qualified as a basketball guy to be here doing this stuff than the people they're sending to back up whoever wasn't able to go that day.
Right.
And it was just, again, it's like, that's Larry, right?
Yeah.
That's Larry.
He would DM the show all the time, and something I said. I'm just looking back through the DM.
He DM'd
DM me about the show.
Oh,
yeah, he listened. Yeah.
And he was the one thing we butted heads on is the salary cap. He does not believe in a salary.
Yep.
And I'm just looking at this one from December 2020. So it's the meat in the pandemic. Come on with the salary cap. You think NHL players have a partnership with the league? It is destructive on every level. And then, my best to you and Michael and Peter, whom I don't know. Be safe, guys.
Whom I don't know. I love that. Very formal.
That's very nice. That's cute.
He's known for hockey. Like he is the gold standard American hockey writers. Gold standard. I mean, there's Red Fisher. There's a lot of others obviously that are there as Canadians, but he is, as an American, the gold standard. But you know what? He loved to moonlight when the season was over. Baseball.
Yeah.
He loved covering and writing about baseball. Loved being there. I think he liked being in the clubhouse and being part of the comp. I think it just, got his juices going. But he was a sports writer at heart. He did spend some time doing some broadcasting. He did a lot of stuff with the Devils. He did some PR. So he was in the business a long time. He's a Titan, and he's going to be missed. And hockey in New York will never be the same without his coverage.
And by the way, and of course, it's being written about everywhere. I mean, this isn't just a big deal in the Post, the New York Times. Everywhere is writing about Larry Brooks. I mean, it's just not common these days that you have someone who still has that old school feel of completely synonymous with the sport. Yeah. When this guy says it, it means something. No, there are a few of them. But when it comes to hockey, he's the one. The old school bulldog type mentality, but also the passion for the sport. There's sometimes some writers are accused of you hate your sport or you just you're just trying to make headlines for yourself. You don't care what it does to the sport. No one cared more about the sport and the passion that he had for it. But that's why he was such a bulldog, because the truth was what was important, what he believed in, what was important, and. I'm one of them. I know Molly Walker is certainly somebody that way more than I am. But if he liked you, if he respected you as a young sports writer, he would take you under his wing, and he would show you the way without giving you the easy way. He wasn't telling you secrets. He just would be there to let you know, like, here's how it's done, or what you did there, I respect it. And that's also something very important as you get older, is you make sure that next generation, each one teach one. And he had that mentality as a mentor later in life. He was the president of the PHWA, Professional Hockey Writers Association, for a couple of years while I was a hockey writer. He wanted me to be the chapter president in New York. And then he said to me, I want you on the executive committee. And I did that for 1 year, and then they moved him out, and they brought in somebody else, and I was like, I'm done. So he cared a lot about the sport he covered.
And
I
that's
did.
also what makes a great sports
And
writer.
he was the biggest critic of the sport as well because of the love for that.
Right.
And for the Rangers, grew up a Ranger fan. And as you said, worked for the Devils in their PR department. If you look back at the classic video of Eat Another Donut, Fat Boy, the altercation between Jim Schoenfeld and Don Koharski, you see a young, spectacled Larry Brooks kind of in the middle of that whole thing. And then he eventually did color on radio.
How does he
with
always
Chris
be in the
Moore.
right place to hear that? The thing with Eisner, you remember the Devils Game 7 when he's planning the parade?
Yeah.
And he wrote about it, and Eisner denied it. And then, of course, the Devils, who was the Burns, who used it as like the rally cry of, they're already planning the parade.
Yeah.
And then the Devils end up winning that. And then someone found audio of Eisner saying it, which proved Larry right.
Yeah. No, he was.
How is he always in the right place at the right time?
Because he had the instincts of a really, truly
amazing,
great reporter.
And, of course, Mark Messier's guarantee, that's his story.
Right. Yep.
We'll win it.
Well, speaking of Messier, I don't know if you guys read the stuff from Gretzky yet, but Gretzky's already spoken and poured his heart out about what Larry Brooks meant. He said, we were friends. In those days, players weren't ashamed to call writers friends, and the writers weren't afraid to call the players friends. We all shared the common language. We all wanted to talk about hockey 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and nobody knew more than Larry. And that friendship continued all the way up until recent times, shortly before his passing.
Now, of course, all that stuff happened before leagues started putting limitations on locker room access and all this stuff where you could develop those relationships. Because now it's a lot harder to spend that kind of time around the player to get to know them, because the access now is so much more limited to what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. And, of course, the other thing that Larry's known for that went viral at the time is his altercations with John Tortorella.
Yeah.
But people also need to know that John did reach out to him in the last few days of his life. They reconciled. He stayed in touch with him. So even though they had their battles, and they had battles, believe me, they almost came to blows, is that they still connected, and Torts, being the good guy that he is, made sure that he had reached out to Larry in his final days. And I've talked to reporters that are intimidated, like they're afraid. They're like, the coaches getting on me. Obviously, the Jet reporters are going through it with how Aaron Glenn's kind of treated them and John Tortorella over the years. And I always tell them, and this is the way Larry was, hey, I'm doing my job. Mm-hmm. My job is to ask questions. Mm-hmm. You have a problem with it, that's on you. I'm going to still be here. I'm still going to ask the question. I'm not going away. You're not intimidating me from doing my job. You were born to be a coach or a player. I was born to be a journalist. I'm here. I'm asking the questions. If you want to yell at me, if you want to intimidate me, go ahead. But it's my job. Never be intimidated to do your job. So that's what I would say to any young reporter, and Larry was perfect for that because he'd stand there and continue to ask Torts those questions, and Torts almost respected it to a point where it's like, listen, this guy's not going away. And believe me, he got into it. That altercation was not when he was the Rangers coach. That was during the 2004 final when he was the Lightning coach.
I remember.
Now he knew him from when he was the interim coach with the Rangers, but still every day when Torts took the job, he knew I'm going to have to deal with Larry every day. He's going to be there all the time. And there was this respect that was built there. I'm so happy that in the Penguins run, in the Rangers run in 22, when they went to the conference final against Tampa, I got to go and do games in Pittsburgh, and we had dinner together in Pittsburgh. And then in the most recent run to the conference final, the first round against Washington, I did the last 3 games, and we had dinner in Washington. And that's where he would kind of let his hair down a little bit, and he'd tell the old stories about the Devils, and he would ask me about the K show because, as you said, he's a big Yankee fan, so he always, or a big baseball guy, and he always wanted to kind of. He always was fascinated about radio and all that stuff. So I'm glad I got to spend the time with him that I did. One of the very few negatives of not covering the Rangers anymore and doing the Devil gig was not seeing Larry as much, knowing that I wasn't going to see him until. Rangers are playing the Devils in March, for God's sake. Their first meetings in March, there's only 3 of them. But then when I saw that he was sick, we had to reach out. We talked about it off the air. You reached out, so I'm glad that we did have those moments. So rest in peace, my friend. You're definitely going to be missed. And
75, far too young.
It is. And he had so much more to give. And Molly has been with him for a long time, doing a tremendous job in the New York Post. So I don't think Post readers and hockey fans are going to miss a beat with Molly because Molly's tremendous.
Yes.
But those are big shoes to fill, Molly, and she knows that. She tweeted out how heartbroken she was over this, but you'll be covered from a hockey standpoint. But he was the best, man. So we're gonna miss him. And for people that weren't hockey fans, we still wanted to take that moment to open up. Even Michael talked about it today, saying he's not a hockey fan, but if he saw Larry Brooks on the byline, he's going to read it because he was such a brilliant writer and he connected with the fans in such a special way. So rest in peace. We've got a mush.
Mad at myself for not knowing better.
No, I'm mad at myself. I listened to you do the whole thing, and I didn't really stop. I slowed it down a little bit at the end because Alan was talking about you want to win big, you want to do this, and I just added at the end and went, well, you want to win. You want to make sure you win.
But you knew he was a mush, right? You knew
No,
it.
I wasn't even thinking about it from that standpoint.
But if you did, and you realized what he did, then you would have bet heavy on Orlando last night.
No, that's the
and
thing.
you would have done it with
I'll be honest, I did not realize till we started texting today that he has this deep a history as the mush.
I blame Anthony.
Right.
Yeah, but
He knows.
He knows deep.
And when I talked to Anthony and Don when I was going in to the Garden yesterday, and I was trying to convince them about how this is the time that we should spend on like acknowledging what the Knicks are doing right now and how good they are.
Yeah.
And 130 points these 3 straight games. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, Anthony should have stopped.
And Anthony,
we should have put him in the bathroom.
Anthony's the guy, right? You should have put me right in the bathroom because Anthony's the guy that was with me at night doing those shows at night. That knew about this, that would play the Reaper song every time I would have enthusiasm about any one of my teams, you'd hear the song. And I would say, you're right. And so he didn't stop me. I blame you, Anthony.
And I blame Anthony and I blame Peter, knowing that you were a mush and yet didn't go to FanDuel and bet the Magic.
Well, here's the thing. I could have done that.
I like that, though.
And maybe on Thursday I could do it because tonight's the night. If you want to hit the jackpot on FanDuel.
Tonight's the night we'll make history.
Betfair is there because it's FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot. You can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. So get in on this Thursday's action. All you have to do is place an anytime touchdown scorer bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Peter for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. All right, play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, 21 and over, physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
All right, they lose the game. So what in the grand scheme of things? But where do we stand right now, Alan?
Dead.
With Brunson.
I'm waiting for a team announcement. If there's an announcement, if there's some type of information today, it probably doesn't sound good. If we hear nothing today, it might suggest to me that it leads into see how he feels on Friday morning, maybe a game time decision, which feels a little less serious, right? He did limp off the court right by me. He did walk down the hall. I was there with the rest of the media, so everybody saw he had crutches. He had a boot on the right foot, which is, I think, standard operating procedure when you have a leg injury, and it is fairly significant, is that they want to make sure it's in a boot for the night, that you're not putting pressure on it, and it's always about what does it feel like, look like the next day. He certainly got treatment immediately. X-rays were negative, so at least there's no break or anything like that, which can happen sometimes when the way that turned was pretty tough. Now remember, it's the same ankle that he injured late last season.
He missed like 15 games, right?
Missed 15 games. And so that's also something to keep in mind. But he had said from the offseason and at the start of this season, the ankle was not an issue. So it's not as if he carried that over.
Right.
It just happens to be the same ankle. Now, there was I think it was under 2 minutes to go. It was a 16-point game. Do we have an issue with him still being in the game? I'll remind you, there were guys at the scorer's table, and Mike Brown was planning on waving the white flag at that point. But Brunson decided he was going to take it all the way to the basket, and that's when the injury happened. But do we, is there an issue with that part of it? Because they were really, I think they cut it to 10. Like they tried to make a comeback, but never really could turn it into a real comeback.
I don't know. What is there? Do coaches have kind of a guide? All right, this is when I call off the dogs.
Yeah, usually when you can see that your team just can't get enough stops, can't get a stop, and you.
So it isn't a matter of points or time. It's just feel that I think we're
because
done.
we've seen 10-point leads disappear in a minute. We've seen this happen in the NBA.
When your best player goes down in a heap, though, that's definitively when you know it's time.
Well, of course it was.
At that point.
But the problem is that
should he have been there to fall down?
There is some school of thought late last night walking out with some members of the media, and some were like, why was he still in the game? They weren't coming back to win this game. And I was like, but in the NBA, like you're 3 shots away from it being a 2-point game.
It's a blurry. They had cut it, I'd say with like 6 or 7 left.
They got it to 10.
Got us like 10.
Yeah.
Hit a couple threes. Cat hit one. It can happen so quick. So this isn't like football. A team's down 21 points late. It's over.
Yep.
I'm sorry. In basketball, you're down 15. To your point, 5 minutes left, doable. 4 minutes left, still doable.
Right.
3 minutes, it can.
And also
2, it's basically over.
Yeah.
But this was right above 2, right? So
it was right. Yeah, it was right before. Yeah, right. There was. You could have called a timeout there.
Right under 2.
I think they scored, and then he came. Like
it was right under 2 that it happened.
Yeah, and he was, first of all, you could tell he was playing angry because late in that game, like he was doing a lot of matching physicality stuff, which was a major problem for the Knicks last night. Which is you talk about. By the way, some red flags last night that we'll talk about, but he looked like he was almost like possessed with drawing contact and hitting people and scoring, like he was pissed off about the way the game was going. And you could see it in his eyes how much. And every time he scored, he looked to the baseline ref who decided it must have left his whistle in the locker room. The guy didn't call a foul the whole game. And he just kept staring at him. And he was like yelling. You could just see that he was somewhere else. And that's when, if you're a coach, you're just like, all right, we got to calm him down. Like, I don't want
too much energy.
Like
it's not going the right way.
We're not going the right way, and I need to dial you back. It's the second back to back.
Yeah, well.
So I'm just asking that from, again, those who are watching, if there's that sense of why was he still in the game at that point.
That's always going to be the conversation.
But you never want to take your best player out when he doesn't want to come out either.
No.
He wants to play.
A little bit of a turnaround from yesterday, but still,
a bit.
We'll keep an eye on it. Your thoughts on it? 1-800-919-3776. It's That Guy Thursday.
Oh, no, we got one.
We'll do that at 4:30. We've got ENN at 6. We got full frontal today, a full show till 7.
That's how I prefer it.
Couple of good hockey games last night. We got the Jets on a Thursday. God, how things have fallen. The Jets. A local team is playing on Thursday, and it's not the Open.
Never mind that. It's Jets-Patriots.
It's Jets.
And the Patriots are great. So this could be a meaningful game.
I'm saying, a couple of weeks ago, didn't I say it was Giants 49ers? And it's like,
yeah.
It's Jets-Patriots. Can you imagine Jets-Patriots 10 years ago? It would be the whole show. We'd do a remote from, like, the Sam Adams place. Right? We'd be on the road.
Probably.
Now we'll see if we get to it.
Judge could be MVP tonight again.
I would think it's going to be
runner
tight,
up,
man.
Runner up. But he's there. It's going to happen tonight. We'll know. We're
going to know tonight. What time? They usually do this. What time?
It's the last one, right? It's the last one they do.
What time did Skenes come down last night?
No idea. I was a little busy.
Late in the show. No.
Yeah, we used to be able to do these things before the show ended.
Yeah, they used to always.
But now they milk it as a big show.
7?
Right at 7.
7-ish?
All right. There was a time in my career where I'd say, you know what, I'll stay in a little extra. No. Gross has got it. Whoever's
Butler's
coming on
got it.
next.
Gross
it's
has got
Ty
other
Butler.
things.
Grassa doesn't got it.
Well, where's Gross?
Where's Gross?
Jets
the thing we might get to.
The Jets.
Oh, what am I thinking?
Jets.
I
said the same thing.
I am so out on the Jets. Like, no, of course Gross is not working. He's got the Jets. I still have not been able to wrap my mind around that they're playing tonight.
If anything, he's working double.
Well,
hazard pay.
That's my dues, because there was a time I'd have to do 2-hour pre, 2-hour post on basically a
Don has
on
no
wheels.
sympathy. He's like,
Hey, listen,
you haven't
I didn't
seen
say
what I've seen. You haven't seen what I've seen.
I lived that life.
I've seen it. Believe me, I've been through that matrix, and it's rough. It's rough, but we'll get to it. Hahn Rosenberg hanging out with you till 7 on ESPN New York.
This is the Michael K. Show.
If you did watch the 49ers against the Rams, the offensive sets that they run, the movement before snap, we don't see any of that in New York for either team ever. And as much as we trumpeted Brian Daboll as an offensive guru, is there anything that they did in the 4 years that he was here that you said, wow, that's different. Wow, that's innovative? No, nothing.
The Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at Amazon.com/PickupMVP. That's Amazon.com/PickupMVP.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Clinton Yates here. The holidays are upon us, and so are the savings at Total Wine & More. Discover thousands of wines, spirits, and beers like my favorite, IPAs, perfect for every celebration and every budget. From bold reds to sparklers, you'll find the perfect wines to raise a glass this season. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find only at Total Wine & More. Curbside pickup and delivery available in most areas. See TotalWine.com for details. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. Just a slow crawl on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Lots of exiting volume for Forest Avenue. Long line of brake lights there from the Verrazano on through. Packed on the LIE westbound, heading over to Springfield Boulevard in Queens. Just picked up the afternoon roadwork. Some solid slowdowns go back into Nassau County. Best of it's the outbound George Westside Highway and Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound already slammed from White Plains Road on through. Inbound George, no big delays for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 5 to 10. Outbound Helena run you at 20 to 30. An earlier crash on the Jersey side. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel this November, it's your chance to gobble up the green and feast on your share of $55,000 cash. Earn entries all month long and join us on Friday, November 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $10,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., 1 lucky winner will take home a grand prize of $20,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
So what song is it? Is it Don't Fear the Reaper or Creeping Death? Because Creeping Death works for Alan, too.
Stop it.
Creeping Death.
Can we not?
I do like this song.
Oh, it's very good.
Off the Ride the Lightning album.
This is like the mood I'm in today, too.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So let's hear from you, 1-800-919-3776. As we talked up the Knicks 24 hours ago, best team in the Eastern Conference, great start.
Well, that didn't
and they're
change.
Still, no, that didn't change,
All right.
of course not. But, a tough loss to Orlando, and now Jalen Brunson, we'll see if he can play tomorrow against Miami in the final game of the homestand. It's just the first loss of the year at home. It was just not what you want.
So 41-0 is not possible now. That's a
no,
shame.
but
That's
you know what? Still get back on the horse against the banged-up Miami team, but basically forget about the wins and losses. Just want to hope that Brunson's okay. It's not going to miss any time. It's 15 games because of a similar injury last year.
Yeah,
and you don't want to have to now wait to see him till Christmas. Would not be ideal.
No.
Again, 1-800-919-3776. Manny and Flushing, you get us started here on Hahn Rosenberg.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good, man.
Good, man. Listen, rest in peace for that hockey reporter.
Larry
also,
Brooks.
Also Larry Brooks, and also rest in peace to Lenny Wilkins and
Michael Ray
Richardson.
Yes.
The last few days we've lost a lot of OGs.
Paul Tagliabue?
In particular.
Yep.
Yeah, Paul Tagliabue, because I think a lot of people don't realize that Lenny Wilkins was a pioneer, one of the first black superstars in the league, as well as one of the first black coaches in the league. That being said, about the Knicks loss, listen, I just hope that the Brunson's injury is not this serious. When I found out it was the right ankle, I said, "Oh Lord, not again!" Especially what happened last March. But the one thing I get ticked off is, like, every time when the Knicks lose, is you have critics out there, whether it's social media or even TV, television, always like to get at Mike Brown, because I saw that tweet, by the way, good tweet, when he's honest about why they lost. I mean, I don't care. At the end of the day, I just like when coaches are being honest. I know people may not like hear it, but he's an old school guy, and that's what it is. I just hope the injury's okay, but I just don't like that every time we lose, they look at Mike Brown, and he's like Mike Brown as the fall guy.
But Now, I think we have the sound that Manny's talking about.
Okay.
I think it's the back-to-back no excuse line. If I'm right, and Manny was talking about this.
I got it. Here you go.
He is not a coach that's going to talk around things. He gets right to the point, and he almost sends a message here about, you want to say that it's tough to play a back-to-back and you can't play hard the next night? He says this, listen.
We're a no-excuse team. If we're a no-excuse team, we got to go play the right way, best we can, and not lay the blame anyplace else except square on us. So it doesn't matter if we play 3 games in a row. We got to go figure it out. If we can't, maybe I need to go deeper into the bench and play guys lesser minutes. Maybe that's where I can help them. We can't sit here and say, well, we played last night, they did this. No, go win the game, play the right way, leave it on the floor. If you leave it on the floor the right way, you're not going to win them all.
The heart of what he said was already said.
You take an L. Move on to the next one.
Play him out?
I just didn't
it's just because of what he said. I don't want it to get lost in the rest of the conversation. Him saying, that's a message he's sending. Now, I want to explain it. What he's saying is, I'll have to go deeper to the bench then, play more guys, and play you less.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what the issue was? What did Mike Brown say? I was playing too many guys. I was, short shifting guys. I had to change up. That was on me. He took the blame for early in the season when some of the players on the team weren't happy with their minutes and how frequently they were coming out of the game, right? So he adjusted, and he's like, all right, how do you guys want it? Okay, I'll cut it to 9. We're only playing 9, and you're going to play more, but you got to be ready. And what he's saying is, you know what? If we can't play that way, I'll have to go back to doing it my way. So he just right there with that statement drew a line in the sand at some of the vets on this team that might not have been happy about him saying, I might want to play 10 or 11 so everybody's fresh. No, they don't want to do that because they don't want to lose their minutes. Okay, but then don't tell me you're tired in back-to-back because then I'm going back to my way.
But I don't know if the caller's right that there's been a narrative of blaming Mike Brown. Wasn't that the whole Tibbs?
That was
thing?
Tibbs more than it was Mike Brown. Right?
When they're playing too many. Oh, believe me, if Tibbs was coaching this team, that would be the first thing. We do have a full bank of calls.
Day.
Why is Brunson in the game? Playing him too many minutes.
Yep.
It just shows you injuries are going to happen. When do you call off the dogs? And also, if a player wants to play, you're probably going to err on the side. All right, go out there and play. So I wouldn't get too caught up. I understand it's a great question to ask. Should he have been out there? But, hey, listen, game's not over till it's over. He wants to play, and he got hurt. What are you going to do? Let's go to Dan in Bud Lake. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Dan?
Hey, Don. Great. Love your show. Doing a great job calling the Devils. Really quick with the Larry Brooks. You were right when I heard your story. He was right in the middle of that whole Schoenfeld-Koharski. You could even hear him trying to calm Schoenfeld down, saying Shoney, and whatnot. He did the color commentary with Dale Arnold that season and that whole nice playoff run and whatnot. So it's sad to hear him that he passed today. It really was.
Yeah, he was a great guy. That's why we wanted to open the show with it, because hockey fans get it. And even people that were not hockey fans, if they did dabble in hockey at all, was probably reading Larry Brooks, because they trusted him, and he always had great angles and great ways of looking at the sport of hockey. And listen, guys like that are going to be missed, man. We joke about it, but it's not really a joking matter as much anymore, just where we get our information now. Are people reading newspapers the way they did before? Right? I mean, the New York Post right now, if you wanted to read it, if you didn't want to go to the newsstand to buy a Post, it's behind a firewall, a paywall on the website. I mean, a lot of people are not getting information from guys like Larry Brooks anymore. It's a different way. They're getting it on social media, they're getting it on television, the commentary that way. But there was a time where, reading the newspaper was the way that you learned about sports, the way you got information. It's different now. So you wonder if somebody like Larry will be replaced. Now, Molly is going to do a tremendous job, like I said, but the challenge that she has, like a lot of other newspaper people, is, are people consuming the product the way they used to? So, and believe me, she's up on all the social media and everything else to be able to get that. But just the straightforward picking up the newspaper, reading, engaging the fan through print is just an art that is, as time goes by, is going to get lost.
It's sad to me, but we grew up on this, right? Like, we grew up on the idea. I still, I need a tangible newspaper, turn the page, read the story. It's a lot harder when you go online, especially on your phone, and you're trying to get on one of the websites. First of all, you got to log in because there's a paywall. Second of all, pop-ups, another pop-up, then a video. It's like, I just want to read the freaking story, right? But so when you grab a newspaper from the newspaper stand, it's actually relaxing. There's no anxiety of pop-ups and all these videos. And I'm wondering, is the generation of fans so used to just scrolling for highlights or quick hit takes,
or a picture with the words on the screen that's a quote, and you don't even read the article, you just see a sentence.
Is that the new way to consume sports now?
Yes.
And is the written word almost dead now?
Yeah.
I would say the era
full
of
game story, written word, columnist take, written word. How much longer is it going to last before it's completely gone? After we're all gone? Will we be the last ones?
I would say that already, if you're someone who's in the world of sports and you're a blossoming opinion or tastemaker, whatever, writer in sports, you're also going to be on television and radio. The world of you just being a writer, and that's how people know you, is your written word. If you're what? You think that's happening if you're younger than 40?
You remember the sports reporters?
Yeah.
All right. I loved that show.
Yeah.
And it was always, there was like 4 or 5 columnists, national columnists, all from different parts of the country, very opinionated guys who were also good at delivering the same opinion on television. But they still had their columns in their newspapers.
And they stayed primarily columnists.
Right. But the value of them on national TV was the fact that they also did it all week. It's not just this is all you do and you don't have like that daily connection to the sport, which I think it's invaluable. And I wonder, again, I'd love to hear from people listening. How much is Larry Brooks passing is one of those things where it does give you that second to stop and say, that's the old school way. What he did it, the columns, the way he reported, the information he would keep and wait till slap shots came out in the Post, and he would have like at the bottom, and all of a sudden he'd have a couple of one-liners that maybe not big stories, but one line could shake a whole locker room.
Oh, yeah.
And he would hold on to it all week. And I just wonder, like, there was something I felt exciting about that I don't know, are we losing it, or are people still hanging on to the fact that, you know what, there is still a value in the newspaper reporter, the beat writer, the columnist, versus, like we said, just scrolling reels that have copy on the screen or a talking head just saying something that lasts 15 to 30 seconds.
You brought up a great point about how relaxing it was to just pick up the newspaper.
Yeah.
And if I decide on a Sunday morning eating breakfast that I'm just going to read the newspaper. I'm committing myself to reading the newspaper.
Yep.
But if I'm reading an article on my phone, well, guess what? A text comes in, I'm going to see the text. Yeah. Or like you said, a pop-up. Or something's going to happen that you can't relax reading on the phone. Like, I'm just going to sit there and relax looking at my phone, reading an article.
Can't do it.
No. There's a sense of urgency holding the phone, that the world is at my fingertips. My patience gets exhausted very quickly because of that. Where if I just decide, for the next half hour, I'm just going to sit, read the newspaper, cover to cover.
I just tried to go to the Post.
No,
website.
you got to close that.
And right away,
Got to hit close.
I got to hit close. So I got to tap that. Now, here I go. No, now it's like use your Google account to sign in. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you my Google
and
information. Now I have to X that.
And you're out.
Now I have to go to sports. So I'm going to click sports now to get to the sports page. Now all of a sudden it's sign up for our Sports Plus page. Like, I just want to read a story.
Meanwhile, while you're doing that,
now
four
here
other
comes an
things
ad.
pop into your minds. So it's
done.
different. It's
See,
different.
by the way, don't let Alan's boyish good looks fool you. He is an old
I'm an
boomer,
old man.
and he is fighting that phone.
But
I get it, by the way. I'm not saying,
a good
but you're
newspaper.
asking the question, is it, I'm telling you, it's over already. Like,
really?
It's over already.
You don't think we'd ever go back? Like, you realize the error of our ways and
Alan,
say, this
I
is
pray.
not really
I've been thinking it's going to end at some point, and we're going to start. I always kind of thought this social media thing would at some point slow down, and we'd start there'd be some retro movement. It doesn't feel like that's happening. People aren't watching television more. They're watching you. The late night shows are irrelevant.
That's
I mean,
true.
we can all get into all the different reasons the late night stuff happened. The main reason it happened is there's just not enough eyeballs on those channels anymore because people are watching YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just all the old things we enjoyed are in trouble.
And we've never taken a step back. It's nothing new. We used to listen to the radio, and there would be shows on the radio, not sports shows. There would be actually dramas, Programs on the radio. And then television came. Radio didn't go away, but now I can get all that on television, and I'll look at radio in a different way. We never reverted back. It wasn't like, we did TV for 10 years, and then we decided, let's go back and just have everything be on radio again. No. And then now television went to the computer.
But radio never
computer
died,
went to the
though,
phone.
Don.
No, it never.
Radio
and
never went away.
No.
Newspapers are going to go away.
Well, they're going to go away but they're going to go away in the format. But there's still a purpose to write and for people to read articles. It's just you're consuming it in a different way, right? Like, radio never went away, but you weren't going to listen to a soap opera on the radio anymore. That became irrelevant. So that's all moved on to television. So radio found its niche, and its niche was games and sports talk or news talk. That's kind of what it found its niche. Right. And even that, as we know, is dying out. And then television became where I was watching the programs. But now you've got apps, and now I can do things on the computer. Like, we've always evolved, and what we evolve away from suffers. And the newspaper right now is suffering. But the journalists still exist. It's just you have to find a different way to be able to get your information out
Pablo
there.
Torre. What he's been doing.
Right.
That's true journalism, what he's doing.
So he's taking the modern mediums, but he's flipping in the old school journalism.
That's exactly
and
what it is.
That's we can hope for is that.
But
Is that
journalism
people will
is
do
still
that.
journalism.
But just
the
don't
way
give me a
to
million
do it,
pop-ups.
The way to attack it. But like you said, Slapshots was something that came out once a week.
Yeah.
But why do I have to wait a week if he's on social media? Give me one of those things every day. Like, I don't want to have to wait a week. And then some of those things, some of those nuggets that on Monday came into Larry's head, or shooting from the lip from Mike Lupica that pops into his head on Monday, well, by Sunday, it's not going to hit the same because 6 days and different things have happened. I just wonder, how much, change now that I don't have to wait. That's why nobody buys Sports Illustrated. Why do I got to wait a week? I want it now.
And you know what
Give
hurts
it to me
the most?
now.
And you know what hurts the most, guys? I just want to be able to go see if Phil Mushnick has insulted me for loving wrestling, insulted me for one of my other political take. I can't even know what insults I'm getting from Phil Mushnick. Why? Because it's behind a paywall.
Well,
That's not right.
There are some things that are a blessing about the paywall.
Yeah, there are. There's good and bad and all. 1-800-919-3776. That Guy Thursday at 4:30. ENN at 6. We're right up till 7 o'clock, and then Ty Butler here on ESPN New York.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids.
KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom designs that let everyone know who you're rooting for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN, 1 free year of Perplexity Pro, and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
NBA fans, the race for the Emirates NBA Cup is on.
Let the games begin.
30 teams will start, but only 8 will advance.
Oh, he puts it in!
And only one champion will capture the cup.
Let's go!
To finish first, they'll have to put the pedal to the metal. Who will capture the cup? Well, let's see what happens on the court.
Basketball is back!
Emirates NBA Cup Group Play continues every Friday on Prime.
The Hess Stock Car Racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7. That guy Thursday at 4:30. ENN at 6. We got a full vehicle today. Talk some Jets a little bit later on. Shane Bowen spoke. Talk to him before he gets fired. For people who know what he sounds like, this could be your last chance to hear. I mean, I don't want to be flippant about it, but honestly, I think they would burn MetLife Stadium to the ground if he kept his job. Right? Honestly. I mean, that's one of the awkward things about, well, we can't fire everybody, still have to function, but, like, bizarre. You know he's gone.
Bizarre.
I brought up Shane Bowen today on my DC radio hit because they were saying, they asked me, do you think that Dan Quinn taking over defensive duties for Joe Witt will help? I was, well, it certainly can't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but what I think Joe Witt Jr. and Shane Bowen need to go on vacation together. The two of them need to go away for a year, spend time, learn, start from the beginning, play Tecmo Bowl, Just sit back and relearn.
Run a 3-4 and just see how it goes.
Feel it out playing the game and just start to learn. Oh, can I ever get a stop on the 85 Bears when I'm playing as like the 91 Bills?
Right.
What can you do?
What were the options defensively on Tecmo, right? It was a 3-4, a 4-3, a nickel.
And dime, right?
Was a dime on the right? Was that the 4?
That's all you got. You got
that's it.
As simple as
that's
possible.
what we need to focus on.
All right, so if they did that, right? If they went to, I don't know, St. Thomas and just played Tecmo Bowl, right?
I love this plan,
and
by the way.
Shane Bowen developed
I'm sure there
a
are
plan.
other ones we don't know about who should go too.
He develops a plan, and there's video footage of him shutting down Bo Jackson.
Steve
on
Wilson.
Tecmo.
Yeah.
Is that enough
That's
to
it.
earn a job?
No, if you can call the Bo Jackson
That's
play
your
every
resume?
time.
Listen, we lost a lot. We give a lot of points in New York, but I did some work on me.
Yeah, I can call the play every time.
Watch this with Bo Jackson. Think he's unstoppable? Look what my defense is doing.
Up in A. Stop.
Look what I did with the 4-3.
Left in B.
Listen,
Stop.
Go to YouTube right now and watch Bo Jackson runs. Not in the NFL.
Tecmo.
On Tecmo.
Tecmo.
I stopped that.
Yeah, if you don't know what that looks like, kids, you don't know what power
Shut
looks
him
like
down.
in a game.
Yeah.
He was in negative yards after the game.
It's something special. So we'll get into that because I do think with opportunity, comes changing attitudes. There's 7 games left for the Giants. All right? So we're joking about Shane Bowen. If all of a sudden the Giants defense clicks, then everything becomes the one guy who got fired fault. It all becomes Daboll's fault, right?
It's almost too easy, isn't it?
But what if? You play the what if game.
Yeah.
All right? If they go out there and beat the Packers. Now, shutting down the Packers doesn't seem like it's any great shakes, right? Because they're really banged up. They've got no healthy wide receivers. That if you shut down the Packers and then shut down the Lions and then you shut down the Patriots and you win 5 or 6 games here at the end of the season, which is an impossibility. Play along with me for a second. Jobs will be won because of that. All right? So there is the opportunity. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But I'm telling you that if for some reason this all turns around and the Giants start winning games, then the narrative becomes, well, Daboll was the problem. He's gone.
Right.
You look at Kafka differently. You look at Bowen differently. You look at Shane differently.
How much do you believe it?
That's not going to happen because the schedule's too tough. I'm just saying if it did, how do you not look at it and go, hey, maybe we run this back with Kafka as the head coach? There is that possibility. As slim as it is, it is that possibility, right? They're given the opportunity to do that. They're going to coach and perform to try to do that.
I don't think the defense is going to change at all. It's not going to change the way it looks. It's not going to change what it does. Like, none of that's going to differ because the secondary is not very good, as we know. They can't stop a run at all.
No.
So we know there's not much they could do to change the defense. But if Jameis Winston shows you that he is capable of running an offense, at least, like, capable, well, we know Dart's your guy, then you really got to wonder, why did you waste so much time at Russell Wilson?
I'm telling you, there is a chance. Not for Bowen, because I agree with you. I do think there is a close to 50% chance. Under 50, but close to 50.
46?
That Kafka could win this job. He'll have the opportunity to do it. If you start to win games, Daboll gets blamed. You just mentioned one. Right? What if Winston goes out there and plays well?
He plays well.
Well, again, Daboll not knowing what he's doing. Playing Wilson over Winston. What was he thinking? And then you'll probably hear rumblings. Well, Kafka wanted to play Winston, but Daboll wouldn't let him do it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the narrative could swing in that direction.
Right, can I ask you, though, let's pull all that away now.
Yeah.
Everything you just said, let's put it. You're a Giants fan. Anthony, you too. If I told you the end result is Mike Kafka's your head coach next season,
any movement?
How you feeling? Are you going like, all right, I'm good with that? Or are you like, that's the best we can do?
It depends how it looks, right?
If they go 7-0.
Oh, come on.
No, but I'm just saying, if they go 1-6.
But is he the next Sean McVay?
And he's the next head coach, you'll be like, what are we doing here? But is there a scenario where it just looks different? They'd start winning games. That you might get to December going, I'd like him to be my head coach.
Defense is not going to be better. Let's just assume the defense is not changing.
But that's a Bowen situation, right? So from Don's standpoint,
you can't say 7-0. You got to go with the offense just continues to just churn out points. Whether it's the offense has been good.
Gets even better though.
Gets even better.
I think continuing the way it is, and the defense still stinks. So you're losing games. The defense looks pretty good. They're scoring 22 points. I think something needs to look markedly better for him to be the true leader in the cup.
And listen,
it can't just be the same.
And listen, you're killing the defense. Why? Because they can't come up with stops late in games. But what if they end up winning the games in which they have a lead going into the fourth quarter? Again, we're playing fantasy land because in all likelihood it's not going to happen because the schedule's not going to allow it to. You're home against the Packers. You're at the Lions. You're at the Patriots.
Can I just say something though about that? The Packers game is interesting. We don't know. We know they have a great defense, right? We don't know exactly who the Packers are at this point in the
year.
Offensively, we certainly don't know. Love has not been great.
But they have the potential to destroy the Giants' defense.
Yes, totally. And certainly if it was Wilson, obviously they have no chance. We'll see what Winston looks like.
Right.
Even the Lions. I mean, the Lions, of course, last week they played the worst team in the league, the Washington Commanders, so they looked amazing. But I don't know if the Lions are the best version of the Lions they've been the last 3 years. That might be a game you can compete in. Who knows? So it does matter what it looks like here moving forward. Because to Don's point, the defense was good enough to win 4 of these games.
And that's
they could have won those 4 games.
And Anthony said in my ear, I guess he's microphone shy, but he said
Dart like Kafka.
That's also probably in consideration because you want that continuity of not bringing in a whole new system.
I'm going to say this right now. A lot of you people.
Oh, you people.
A lot of used people are giving Dart just a little too much.
A little bit.
Don't get me wrong. He was good.
I was told he's the leader of this team.
That may be so. He may be leader of the team and other players. They all look up to him and they admire him. I don't think he's at the point where he has his legs up and he's going, not feeling it, guys.
I'm just saying.
I like LaFleur. Give me LaFleur.
I mean, if it's working.
But if it works,
then and he seems like he has a relationship with him. If the offense looks considerably worse,
no. But that goes back. Sorry, Don. That goes back to what we were saying about the play. You said, does he like him? Him liking him. I'm sorry, he's not calling the shots in that way.
You heard Carl Banks on Monday. All right, they're giving Kafka a chance to win this job. They wouldn't be giving him this chance if the quarterback didn't like him.
Right.
If they didn't think he has some responsibility for making him the quarterback that he is. We give all the credit to Daboll. I get it, but Kafka is his offensive coordinator. Right? So he has to be on board. Again, there are times Ulbrich was made the interim head coach, and the vibe was, this is temporary. He's not winning this job. The vibe I'm getting that Kafka, I'm not saying he's winning the job, but they're giving him a look. They're giving him a hell of a runway, 7 games. I'm not saying he's going to win the job.
Can I throw another thing in it,
too? It feels like the Giants are giving him a legitimate chance to try to steal
because he's been
job.
interviewed at other places.
They wouldn't do that if Dart wasn't on board.
And we're forgetting another piece here, too. We can't forget the Mara piece. That because of Mara's current situation, I think the more that they can simplify this thing moving forward and not have to make gigantic organizational changing decisions. Continuity's better. So if it works with Kafka and it works with Shane and Mara's dealing with his health stuff, we move forward for another year.
There have been interims. I forget. There was one other. I forget who wrote the article. I apologize. But, Tomlin was interim. There are interims that win jobs and stick around.
Not everyone's Richie Pettibone with the clipboard hanging from his belly. You know what I mean?
Right.
You remember that era, don't you?
Yes, I do remember.
It was not what you wanted.
It was one and done.
Jim Tomsula. Remember that hire?
Of course I do.
Remember that hire?
I sure do.
Same thing.
It's, there's some
Tomsula.
Wow.
Hell of a name.
Right?
Him and Pettibone. Those are 2 great names to pull out.
Pettibone's a good
I dare anyone to call this program and pull out a better random NFC East coaching name than Tomsula or Pettibone.
Yeah, those are
a couple
ones.
of gems.
Those are good
NFC
ones.
West for Tomsula.
This is a good conversation to have. This is a good conversation to have. Do you give Kafka a shot, and can these 7 games win over hearts and minds? 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you until 7 on ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro. Like it never even happened.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
.402 in the big city, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
Bet your
Time
ace.
now for Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey for game time. That's game time. It's brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, fellas,
It's
Tally time.
like
You know what? I don't know.
Wow.
It's Tally time.
Jets face the Patriots on Thursday Night Football at 8:15.
They
Do
do.
they?
They play.
The Islanders are in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights at 10.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Tullamore
A lot of
Dew.
energy about that.
The original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly.
Hell yeah.
You know, I failed to promote. I've been talking about that guy Thursday. Let's not forget at 5:30, Damien Woody. His weekly spot.
That's right, the Big Wood.
So let's not forget about that at 5:30. And then ENN at 6. We got the full vehicle till 7. And then it's Ty Butler. Looking forward to seeing Ty. Is Ty
Here comes
going
the
to
happy.
be swinging in?
I doubt it.
Interesting.
He's doing it from home?
I don't know. Maybe he's coming in for a
He's
full
got
show.
that luxury.
No
I
offense.
don't know.
I mean, he's tremendous at what he does. But
Very
you know,
It's your tittle.
home, really?
Well, really? Who are you?
Well, wait,
let's not have
what are you-
Who am I?
Let's
Did
not
you
be
get
the
promoted?
people.
Who am I?
Wow.
No, to call out people.
Who am I?
Hang on. We might need to leave the room. It's
I'm just
getting a
saying.
little tight in here.
I know.
I'm
I don't
just
know if we can
saying.
all fit.
My God.
Wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute.
you offended him a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm just saying we have our times when we're in different places.
That
Who
is
are
true.
we to point out when anyone else has a time where they're in a different place?
I am that way. I was the first voice of this station,
I know you-
24 years here.
All right.
I'm the only person that's here more than me recently has been Peter. Right? We're here.
Yeah, more. No, I think.
What year?
Bart's here a lot. I mean, Carlin's here a lot, right? They're both here.
Yeah,
No?
exactly. Right.
Oh,
So-
you mean time-wise?
No, Well, yeah. Well, or I'm just talking about like
physically.
You mean
I'm just
years
saying,
or physically?
If I were to
He means
say,
physically.
let's say if I was the boss.
What about Alan?
I'm sorry. Am I never here?
Yeah, Alan's here.
Who was here all summer?
I'm not going to just list everybody. I just wanted to throw Peter a little
just
because he was actually here on a Friday. That's worth like 20 days in the studio.
Here on a Friday is like being. I deserved all my paternity leave back for being in on a Friday.
That's how you made up for it?
That's how I made up for it. One Friday in
I'm
studio.
just saying. I don't think I'm being
that guy.
That guy.
You are being
we could save it
exactly.
for Thursday.
You know what? Save it.
It's like, hey, Don, John, this is Don. I'd like to work from home. Of course. You paid your dues. You've been here a lot. We love you.
Yeah.
Peter, Alan, Chris, Bart, Dan, Dave, Rick, Ty.
But you think Ty hasn't put enough time?
Get your ass in here.
That's what you. Wow.
Yeah. How about that?
But by the way,
What do you
I don't
think
know,
of that?
maybe he is coming in.
You
I
know?
was speaking at
Pat
a school.
O'Keefe.
Get your ass in.
Right?
Get your ass in here.
whoa.
Let's go.
Jake Asman.
Get in the car. Jake, get to stepping.
But what if I don't know? Maybe Ty tonight is also doing things at SNY.
Did he drop a? That's a Martin line.
Which one?
Get to stepping.
Get to stepping.
Martin, like how do you even know Martin Lawrence?
Now, if John wants to be good-hearted and say, no, work from home, by all means, guys, do it. I'm just saying, some tell, others ask. I think they fall in the category of ask.
Well,
we fall in the category of tell.
Oh, that's nice that you say that because I still feel like I'm asking.
I'm completely talking right out of my
right
rumpus
out of
room.
your ace.
Right out of the rumpus room. Ty, do what you want. Ty, do it from the bathroom. Have fun.
Excuse me?
Because no matter what he does, it's going to be great because he's a talent.
I'm a big fan. He's in tremendous shape, by the way.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to really stir it up. I think some of our fill-ins are better than guys that have full-time jobs.
Wow.
How about that?
Name names.
I won't say who.
Name names.
I won't say who.
Do the math. Wow. Who is he talking about?
On next Wednesday's list.
I was just saying, if I was in charge, one of those three individuals that I mentioned have a full-time gig.
Cut his fat ass. I don't want to even interpret that.
I'm not mentioning anybody's name.
No. You don't need to.
I'm just complimenting. It's nice to say he does a good job, but how far are you willing to go to say that? I'm willing to go that far.
That's far.
Yeah,
but I think it could be true, and I don't want to get into craziness here, but
so 7 games left. Now, the Packer game is winnable, but you're also got the unknown of Winston at quarterback instead of having Dart, so that changes the narrative a little bit. So this is going to be tough. Then you are going to Detroit to take on the Lions.
Detroit, yeah,
that's a beast, right? That in the best of circumstances, you're in all likelihood not winning that game. Then you go into New England to take on the Patriots, and listen, the Patriots have been phenomenal. All right, they're 7-2, and they're and no offense to the Jets, they're going to be 8-2. Are they going to finish 15-2? Are the Patriots now unbeatable? I'm just asking. If you think they are, then they are.
I assume they're not unbeatable, but they're very, very good.
Okay, so those are 3. So
is that a Monday night game?
That is a Monday night game. Yes. So that doesn't bode well because the Giants play awful in prime time.
No.
But so what I'm asking is, can they go 1-2 in the next 3? Home against the Packers, at Detroit, at New England.
How much do you give the fired coach bump?
I don't give any bump.
No bump?
No. That doesn't
Peter,
work in football.
bump? Fired coach bump?
I don't
think you always get that fired coach bump?
I'm not feeling it this time around.
Like again, a coach that either guys are emotional about him getting fired and are a little more locked in because they're mad about it, or guys that are like, thank God he's gone, and the offense feels different, looks different, and guys are a little more happier about the fact that there's a different voice in the headset. So you say no bump also? Usually the fired coach bump is a real thing.
I think in the other 3 sports it's a real thing.
Here.
I don't think it is in
Not
football.
In football. Okay. That's why I asked. You guys are the experts.
No, but you could disagree. I don't.
I always feel like there's a bump. You always get a bump.
All right. So you think they beat the Packers?
I think the Packers are beatable.
Okay.
I'm not saying they can't. I worry. Again, I don't trust Bowen and his defense.
Right,
I don't trust what they're going to do.
How could you?
Even with a lead.
All right.
Up 14 in the 4th. Do you still think they can win that game? I don't. I won't believe it until it's 000.
Probably not. Same personnel, mostly the same coaches. Now, all right, so you got a choice 0-3, 1-2. Which one you picking? Because 2-1's not on the table. They're not going to win 2 of the next.
So you're saying I have to slide my chips one side or the other?
Yeah.
You have to choose.
1 and 2.
All right, 1 and 2.
I'll take 1 and 2
What
because
about
the
you,
offense
Pete?
is good enough.
All right, so 1 and 2.
Just want to look at the order again one more time. It's
home against Packers, at Detroit,
Lions, New England on a Monday night. And then a bye, so they know that they get to go away. Last day of school Monday night game.
No, I know this sounds weird because I just gave them a chance to win. I'm going to go
0-3?
I'm going to go 0-3.
Okay, 0-3. All right.
I got 1 and 2. You got 0-3.
I think they go 1.
Whatever happens at the end of this, we go to Trader Joe's and buy whatever the other guy
There you
wants.
go. Sounds
All right.
good. Deal.
So
I don't feel that strongly
all right, so
about
then you go on
it.
a bye.
What
All
the hell?
right, now you got the bye, rest up, whatever. Hopefully you get Dart back. It's also difficult to play this game when you don't even know when Dart's coming back and how Winston's going to play and all that.
But don't you think Winston's the wild card in the Packer
He
game?
is. Very much
You get
so.
the coach bump, and you get a quarterback that nobody has
Very much
any
so.
idea what's going to
Or
happen.
it could be a disaster.
It could be. That's what I
He
mean.
could throw a pick 6 on his first pass.
He could throw for 305 touchdowns,
Right.
or he could give up 4 picks and be a mess.
This is literally a guy that in one season threw 30 touchdown passes and 30 interceptions.
Amazing.
It literally can go either way with it.
roller coaster.
All right. So now you go on the bye. You come back home against the Commanders.
Win. Big
All right.
dub. Fat dub.
Home against Minnesota.
Why not? Give them 2.
At Vegas.
Hold on.
Home against Dallas.
So what you're saying is...
And what does that game mean for Dallas?
Nothing. They should get 3. You're saying they should get a minimum 3 down the stretch.
So what you may not be willing to go there. But Alan and I, if we have them 1 and 2 in the next 3 before the bye, that means that the Kafka-led Giants will close out the season 4 and 3.
Well, you gave them 3 in a row? That's a lot you just did.
No.
No,
you didn't at the end?
No.
No, I
you got
said
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
You got
and
four-
then if you win 3 of the
Three of
last
the four.
3 of the last
There's
4.
4 after the bye.
It's 4
and you're
and
already
1.
giving the Commanders up, so now there's only 2 more wins you got to find. And that's
right. And the Dallas
Vegas,
game's
Dallas,
interesting.
yeah.
Dallas can be mathematically
All right,
eliminated.
yeah, that would give them to 4.
whatever.
I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but listen, I don't think they're going to come out of the bye and win 4 straight. But if they're 4 and 3 and the offense looks good and Dart looks good and the defense looks improved, looking at the landscape of the coaches available, you wouldn't give Kafka at least a 50-50 shot
I would.
of getting this job?
I would.
Yes. You give him a 50-50, but here's what you got to think. The only thing that knocks him off the pedestal is if Tomlin shakes free, if
Of course.
there's a Belichick kind of
Harbaugh
like
shakes 3.
Yeah.
Rick
You have that one. To me, it's about of what you just said, the availability. Because if I have to go out and hire another coordinator, well, my guy has been interviewing around the league and probably will get calls again to interview around the league. There's a reason why the last 2 years, he's been interviewing for head coaching jobs. There are people that consider
Right.
him a top coordinator that might be a head coach one day. So would you just get another coordinator and let him walk?
And-
or would you say, all right, well, we got a guy?
And remember, again, it's not like he's a member of my family. I'm not rooting for him to win the job. I am just saying that I believe, listening to Carl Banks, knowing the Giants the way that I think I know them, I think that there's a reasonable chance. This is not your typical just throw him in there. I think they're going to give him a really good look.
And if you're Joe Shane, this is what you're rooting for. Because that gives you stability too, right?
But also what it does, and here's another reason why I think the Giants are kind of rooting for Kafka to get the job, is that their only screw up was Daboll, and they corrected that. Like they got Kafka right. All right, Bowen I think is going to be collateral.
He was a product of Daboll.
He was a product of Daboll, right? So we got him out here. Shane, he's still a good general manager, got good players. Look at we got rid of Daboll, and what happened? All of a sudden we start winning games. We go 4 and 3 down the stretch. We're in games. You know, we played well against Minnesota. We played well against Green Bay. We played well against New England. Like, all these things have to happen, and I think they would give him an excellent chance to do it. Now, you bring up a good point. All of a sudden, Pittsburgh let go of Tomlin. Or Baltimore lets go of John Harbaugh.
It's a wild card.
You know, or Bill Belichick says, listen, I just broke up with the girlfriend, and I just want to coach your team, and I'll do it for free.
Well, by the way, Belichick, if he wants to talk to the Giants,
Oh,
the
they'll
Giants will talk to
Oh,
him.
yeah, they'll have a conversation.
And if he comes in and, woos Mara or Tish or everybody else in the upstairs with the Giants, and they start falling in love, he's getting that job.
And also, the way the NFL is structured, they can't just give the job to Kafka anyway. Because of the Rooney Rule, they've got to interview people. So if Tomlin becomes available, they'd have to interview him. They're going to interview Antonio Pierce if for no other reason to give him the D coordinator job. See, that to me makes sense. You bring in Antonio Pierce to be the defensive coordinator. Kafka stays the head coach, right? And then you bring in an OC. There'll be guys that shake loose there, right? Maybe McDaniel becomes available. If Miami lets him go, would you take him as their offensive coordinator? Like, so things are. I'm not predicting it. Maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into it. But the way Carl Banks completely shut down any conversation who the next head coach would be, and the reason he said that was because Mike Kafka is auditioning for this job, makes me believe he thinks he's got a decent shot to get it. Now he's got to coach well, but I think if you go 4-3 and they look marketably better, I think he's got an excellent chance to get the job. He does.
4-3 is asking a lot. By the way, Kafka is part Puerto Rican. That would, right? Wouldn't that put him in the Rooney Rule category?
I think, the speculation has been for people that have been negative about him, saying the reason he got those interviews was because of the Rooney Rule. I don't know. But he did get those interviews. You know, the Rooney Rule, I know it's easy to just say they go through the motions. I'm not saying they don't.
Mm-hmm.
But in most cases, I think there's enough minority candidates that are legitimate candidates that you could check the box for the Rooney Rule without just throwing away a day interviewing somebody that's got no shot. And we've seen guys that have risen through that and become legitimate coaches in the league. The Rooney Rule does work. I mean, at least in theory, of giving
Brian
opportunities.
Flores disagrees.
Well,
but
yeah, right. I'm not saying it's perfect.
No. But
I do think do I think that there are teams that bring in a minority candidate just to check the box? Okay, we're doing it. But I do think they're still bringing in legitimate coaching candidates to do that. Like when they brought in Kafka, they were probably checking a box, but at the same time wanting to take a legitimate look at a guy that people respect as a possible future head coach in the NFL. Can that be fair?
Totally. I think there are times when, listen, the Rooney Rule had to be created because you saw the lack of diversity in the league, so they had to do something. They were saying our coaching is not representative of the players in this league. We have to do something. It was the NFL doing something smart. The problem is, like you said, sometimes we've seen situations where it just seems like a complete waste of time.
We know who we want to hire, but we can't hire him yet because we have to interview a minority
and
just to satisfy
time.
this. Yeah. Well, it's the argument, though, that I've heard on that part is that it's never a waste of time to experience an interview.
If you've never
meet
had
somebody, you get to know him. You never know if this coach that you wanted, you end up hiring, doesn't work out. Well, we really like that guy, though. We should bring him back.
No, it's a waste when it's someone, when it's no longer a choice. But Dennis
no one
Green,
has a shot.
like this guys, people have had multiple coaching jobs. You're bringing them in, and you're like,
no one has a shot, but you just bring them in anyway.
And they already have the experience. They've head coached before.
Yeah.
Now, guys, here's something I want you all to experience. It's Amazon Pickup.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate convenience play. We all know Amazon is part of everyday life, but Amazon Pickup, it takes it to the next level. If you're pressed for time, you're on the go like I am. You could choose to send your order straight to a secure pickup location that works for you. Amazon lockers and counters are located near you no matter where your day takes you. Your package is ready when you are. Life never slows down, so instead of worrying about timing or schedules, your package is waiting for you, for me, whoever. It's all there for you, right? Like I'm super busy, got the baby at home, got 93 jobs, constantly on the move, but Amazon Pickup gives me the flexibility to grab what I need between shows. Errands, commute, all that stuff. All right, simple. You order online at checkout. Just choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick up what you need. It's quick, secure, and always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupmvp to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Let's go to Griffin in Connecticut. You're on ESPN New York.
This guy attacked me yesterday on the show.
What, Peter? I couldn't hear you for a minute.
Oh. You attacked him yesterday.
I said you attacked me on the show yesterday.
Oh, my God. It was playing around.
Well, it sounded just now. Griffin, we're going to play it back for you. When you just said...
Okay, I'm
when
sorry.
He just said,
I apologize.
No, Griffin. You never...
I apologize.
No, Griffin. No, please.
Apologize.
No, please. Don't be as sensitive as Alan. I already have to deal with Alan. I can't deal with you too. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when he just picked up the phone and went, "What, Peter?" Alan, he went full Biff.
That was aggressive.
I thought he was about to press me up against the wall.
That was aggressive. Sounded good though.
No,
like
Griff,
was strong.
Griff, I got to tell you, it scared me. I kind of liked it.
Continue, Griffin. Quick breaking news. Garrett Wilson placed on IR.
You know what?
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, Rich, good job.
Go ahead, Griffin.
Take the Patriots tonight. They're going to easily cover that number. I don't know how the Jets are going to score. How are they going to score?
I don't know.
This is a great Patriot defense that can stop the run. So how are they going to score? I don't know.
Everything in my bones, every logical football person says the Patriots are going to cover the 13.5 easily. But this is the NFL. We've seen crazier things.
Yep.
Jets, 3-point play.
What, you just did it?
I just did it.
You really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Jets, 3-point play.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about the Jets. Now I'm laying off for the Pats hard.
Are you going to go? You going to go Pats 3?
No, I'm not. I see Alan thinking, though, because we know he loves the Pats this year.
All right.
We know he loves his baby Drake. Little baby Drake. He's thinking about it. The eyebrows raised.
But, Griffin, you're spicy today, so what else you got?
Spicy Griff.
I don't see how they're going to go 4-3 in these games. The one reason why I don't think the Giants are going 4-3 in these games, their defense in the fourth quarter is so bad. That's the point. And the defensive coordinator is still there.
Yes.
So that's the thing.
Well, nobody is predicting it, Griffin. What we're saying is,
I know.
what
You're just
if
trying to
would
see.
you? No, what we're saying is, if they do go 4-3, so I'll ask you. You think it's an impossibility, and you're probably not wrong. So if they were to go 4-3, wouldn't you give a strong look to Kafka being the coach of the team moving forward?
Yes.
Well, that's
would,
the point we're
because it
trying to
seems
make
like he's
is
changed.
he's been given an opportunity, and I don't think they're going to go 4-3, but I didn't think they beat Philadelphia. I didn't think they beat the Chargers. And you let Daboll go, and if you think Daboll is the reason why they blew those 4 games against the Broncos, the Saints, the Cowboys, and the Bears, well, then maybe if somebody else was coaching the team, maybe they win 1 or 2 of those games. We're just painting a scenario where it's not an impossibility. And I think the Giants are kind of hoping that he does a good job because I don't think they would mind making him head coach. Because then it justifies the firing of Daboll. It solidifies the return of Shane, which I think they want. And also, something that hasn't been said, matter of fact, the opposite was said about with Anthony, what if Dart doesn't like him? What if Dart likes him? What if Dart's like, I want him to be my coach? Now, I don't think he should have that kind of say to Peter's point, but if we're giving credit to how Dart's played and they think Kafka might be responsible for that, doesn't that help him?
I mean, I appreciate this effort we're making here. I just don't see, with no change with the defensive coordinator, I don't know how things change when you consider the next 3 opponents all have pretty good offenses. Like, you're going to have to put up 30-plus points to beat these teams.
No, it's hard.
Like, is Shane Bowen just suddenly going to go, oh, well, without Daboll here now, I can do what I want?
All right.
Like, Daboll had nothing to do with the defense.
But you could be making an argument that maybe it won't take 4-3. Just all how it looks. All right, if you know,
so you're
right,
saying
listen,
that they
the
lose,
defense
but the
is
offense is just rolling.
Offense is great. They seem to have structure.
But
they
Don,
seem to know what they're doing.
You were the guy that when the season started, we're talking about how there was a lack of weapons, that the wide receivers, they're not very good.
Right.
Now you've lost one of the wide receivers that actually was good, and you've lost a running back you didn't know you had until you had him, and now you don't have him.
I know. But I also
How
didn't
is
know,
it still supposed to look
But
right?
I didn't know I had a quarterback, and hopefully I do. We'll see what happens with this
He
concussion
better
protocol.
dial back the running now.
That he's a lot better than I think people thought.
Like if they now have to worry about 4 concussions, or at least 4 times he had to be checked for a concussion, and worry about him, all right, don't run as much, a little more conservative, let's just finish out this season with you healthy and upright. It's going to look different. I don't feel like this is as simple as saying, hey, if he just wins, if Daboll just won, he wouldn't be gone. They lost games in epic fashion.
I know.
They lost 3 that they should have won and 4 that they could have won, and they should have a winning record right now. They're
absolutely.
a bad football
That's
team
the thing.
because they were poorly coached.
And it sounds to me, based on the firing of Daboll, that Shane's still here, that Bowen's still here, that they believe that Daboll was the problem. And that the reason they lost those 4 games, yes, the defense was bad at the end of the games, but also Daboll, the way he positioned himself in those games, put them in a situation that they lost. all right, the defense fell apart against Denver, but why is Dart throwing on third down, not forcing Denver to call a time? So that was a reason why they lost that game, right? The whole handling of Dart, not knowing when he got hurt, leaving him in after he had gotten hurt. There was a great point that was made on social media where when it looked like when Dart suffered the concussion, Wilson put his helmet on, ready to go out there. The coach didn't see it, but the backup quarterback did. So is that a reason why they lost against the Bears? The fact that Winston's not the backup and Wilson was.
Because Wilson couldn't,
what the Giants might be telling you is, yes, the defense is sucked in the fourth quarter, but that's not the only reason why we blew these games. And then maybe with a different coach we win them.
And Renan has talked about how Daboll was out of control a lot of times, emotionally out of control because of losing and him lashing out at Kafka, lashing out at people. We saw the 10th thing. Is there just a different mood on the sideline without Daboll just losing control the way he did?
And again, to the point I was making earlier about just continuity and wanting to just keep things as simple as possible, if you can turn the games that they were just supposed to win into actual wins, that could be enough for Kafka given everything else that's going on. Because either way, they're going to the Shane Bowen thing is getting handled in the offseason.
It better.
That's getting handled, right? Joe Shane could stick around. I think if you're the Giants right now, all you got to do is do the things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Don't blow games in the fourth quarter. Win the games that are winnable, and I think you will have a shot to stay.
But winnable is after the bye.
Yeah, most likely. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on Sunday, see how Winston plays. There's a lot of ifs. We'll give you that. And I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying there can be a scenario where Kafka could win this job.
If ifs were a spliff,
we'd all be high. I don't know if that's this phrase, but I
nailed it.
What is it?
If was a spliff, we'd be all bleeped up.
No, same thing. It's just
right
I
there.
cleaned it up.
I mean, he was on the right track. Yeah.
That Guy Thursday. Next, Damien Woody, 5:30. ENN 6. Get it? Got it? Good. ESPN New York.
This is the Michael Kay Show.
If you did watch the 49ers against the Rams, the offensive sets that they run, the movement before snap, we don't see any of that in New York for either team, ever. And as much as we trumpeted Brian Daboll as an offensive guru, is there anything that they did in the 4 years that he was here that you said, wow, that's different. Wow, that's innovative? No, nothing.
The Michael Kay Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel this November, it's your chance to gobble up the green and feast on your share of $55,000 cash. Earn entries all month long and join us on Friday, November 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $10,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., 1 lucky winner will take home a grand prize of $20,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Just a bad ride on the Staten Island Expressway westbound, heading over to the West Shore. Lots of commercial exiting volume for Forest Avenue, heading over to the ports. Delays are starting to back up across the Verrazano onto the Brooklyn side. Long line of brake lights on the LA eastbound, heading over to Jericho Turnpike in Nassau County from right out of the Midtown Tunnel in Queens. Best of it's to the outbound George, southbound Deegan and Henry Hudson. West Side Highway northbound, bumper to bumper with a broken down car over by the water treatment plant. plant. Some solid delays there heading into the 140s from the 70s. Inbound George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 15 to 20. Outbound Helena run you 45 plus. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Jordan, Renan, names. Kafka, is this real? Like, if he does well, he could keep the job?
Definitely think that that's real. I mean, Kafka has an opportunity here to show that he's a head coach. Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Chargers, is someone that I would watch really closely. Antonio Pierce is someone I would expect to be involved in this mix here. To me, it's not about offensive mind, defensive mind. It should be about, we need to find the best leader for the team.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
We all have that one friend.
I'm talking about the yo-yos who set themselves on fire and bathe in pork and beans.
Or know that one person.
I'm here with my family.
Who can't help but be.
He's not cool. His voice is weird. He's kind of a dork. His brother's a tool. His girlfriend's annoying.
That guy.
I didn't know it was banner night. We won't be out for that.
It's time for That Guy Thursday.
Hey, guys. Anyone want to play some ball?
With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
He's just being that guy.
All right.
Yeah, that guy Thursday. And we have a guy right here in New York in this market.
Okay.
That was being that guy, and he might get his way. Do we like it when that guy gets his own way, gets what he wants?
I don't know.
That.
Depends on what he wants.
Well, if you remember during owners' meetings back in March, Woody Johnson called. You remember those surveys that the players do, NFLPA, right? They put out these surveys that the players talk about, and they grade teams on various things about player experience. The Jets are consistently F.
Oh yeah.
And they get hammered every year. Well, Woody Johnson didn't like it. Not happy about it. And he led a cause with some other owners as well. I should point out Robert Kraft is one of them, Michael Bidwill, David Tepper, Art Rooney even, right? They were also getting grades of D or worse. But it was Woody Johnson who called the survey totally bogus and hinted, I think it violates our collective bargaining agreement.
Huh?
Yeah, he took issue with how they collected the information and who they collected it from. That it's supposed to be, according to the agreement that they have with the league, it's supposed to be a process where we have representatives and they have representatives, so we know that it's an honest survey. So Woody Johnson went on to say it was violated, in my opinion, and I'm going to leave it at that, but I think there are a lot of owners who look at that survey and said, this is not fair, it's not balanced, it's not every player, it's not even representative of the players. While he was saying all of that, one owner told ESPN, the only owners who don't care for that are the ones who get subpar grades, end quote. So now we learned that the NFL now has officially filed a grievance against the NFL Players Association, asking the union to stop its annual team report card, saying the exercise violates the collective bargaining agreement. The league is saying we also do this. We do it collaborative. So we have checks and balances about our franchises so that the players have the things that they want, like, and need. And the NFLPA responded, yeah, the last time we did that was 2015.
Okay.
So Woody Johnson stomping his feet, not being happy because he's called out as a bad owner, is getting what he wants. He was that guy. Do we like it when that guy gets what he wants?
Whoever likes it when that guy gets
Do
what
we
he
have a
wants.
problem with these surveys? Do we think this is wrong? Do we think they're a little biased or bogus? Do we think it doesn't make sense? Or is it pretty much representative of when you look at a franchise and go, I don't think that's a good run franchise. And the players say, no, it's not.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with just getting an idea of how players feel about certain franchises. It doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all. It doesn't have to be exactly 100% how you look at that, but shouldn't you self-scout as a league, see how everybody's looking at these franchises? Wouldn't you want to know? Like, you could be sitting there going, I think I'm doing a fabulous job. Everybody thinks that my team is run very well, and then you find out from your own players you're not. Mm-hmm. You can be insulted and want to get rid of the survey or go, maybe I need to look a little deeper at myself and try to make some changes.
One, strongly disagree. There's a lot of companies that like to get a feel from their employees of how they're running their business and how their employees feel.
I've heard that.
These surveys are very important ways to understand, are we doing enough as management to make sure people are happy? And if they're not, whose fault is it that we're not happy enough? That's what most companies do.
Yeah.
And so the NFLPA does it and presents it publicly, which is probably what really bothers the owners. But one owner spoke loudly about it. He happens to be the one that everybody, gives an F to. And now the league is going to try to get the NFLPA to cease and desist with these player surveys. NFLPA has already, appealed, and they're already saying this year, we're doing it. We're doing it this year. But it is odd, isn't it? Of all the things for Woody Johnson to worry about.
I know. Well, those are the people that are the most worried about perception are the ones that are perceived poorly, right? That's how it usually. If you don't care, that means you feel good about yourself and you don't have to worry about other people. Yeah. The fact that he's so bothered by it tells you that he realizes that we're not a very well-run franchise. We don't win. And maybe I need to pay attention to this. But he got upset about it. Looks like he may eventually get his way. But it's a very interesting question. Peter, you got anything today? That guy Thursday, 4:30?
What was that?
Is
he waking you back up?
No. He's just catching me up to see if I remember. No, I was digging around. I don't have one particular. Listen, I have lots of things. Are any of the things that we should do on this show right now?
Why not? Take a chance.
I don't know.
We got a dump.
The
people of YouTube, they deserve.
Here's what I have for that guy Thursday. I have Griffin, who I'm just trying to say hello to the guy. And I'm trying to reference yesterday when I thought he kind of bullied me. And this is the sound of Griffin.
He bowed up.
Listen to Griffin today.
What, Peter?
Wait, you're telling me.
A lot of impatience.
Hold on, you're telling me that's not a guy who says next time I see you, it's a bleeping problem?
Yeah. We got a problem,
Peter?
Oh, yeah.
I love this man so much.
That's him. He just flipped the shank in his hand.
He is the gift that keeps on giving.
What, Peter?
Griffin from Connecticut.
Well, different tone in that voice.
My that guy is accentuated by the fact that we just got word about Garrett Wilson going on IR, and that, of course, is Aaron Glenn going after our guy. No. He's being that guy. No, he's being that guy. Even sending out some sort of a signal like, Rich, he's going to break all the news. Well, you know what? What were you hiding? You put him on IR. We knew he was going to be out for the game against New England today, but now he's out.
Yeah, why did it matter?
Why are you playing these games, man? I want to know the end game. Rich Cimini's always had your back. Now, we got a caller yesterday who made a good point. He's probably aggravated that things got leaked. He's not mad at Rich, but he's using Rich to show, hey, we got to button things up here. Who's going to Rich? Who's talking to Rich about stuff? Who's telling tales out of school? But, dude, save that for things that are up in the air. Save that for things we don't know. Everybody knew Garrett Wilson was hurt. He didn't finish the game. It's a short week.
You know what's connecting? It's the Jets. The Jets and all the leaks, right, Don?
Yeah.
That's that guy because the head coach who can't stop the leaks is blaming the media for it. At least you're perceiving that as such. And as I said, the owner of the Jets more concerned with the fact that the players give him bad grades than looking internally and thinking, you know what? We got a problem here. And maybe we need to fix it. But no, he can't fix it because he doesn't know how. That's the biggest problem, is he can't get out of his own way. You're going to stomp your feet at an owner's meeting about grades that are given out because your team is run piss poor and your facilities are meh and your location not so great. and your hiring practices and the fact that your family is allowed, your kids are allowed to come into the locker room and talk crap about players right in front of them. Have carte blanche in a locker room. It's supposed to be a sacred place. And so players are going to go, you know what? F this, F that, F him.
Yeah.
Like that's what they did.
Well, and also-
and he's going to go, I don't like these surveys. We should put a stop to them so nobody else has to read about the fact that we suck as owners.
But that's what people like that do, honestly.
Who puts the list together? The Players Association.
The union.
Why do they do it? They want to help their constituents in their search for free agency to know where's a good place to go.
Yeah, so when you're considering what options, you make a lot of money.
You've taken that away. But what Woody fails to realize is they all talk. The agents talk.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like you need a survey. People are going to be like, I'm thinking of signing with the Jets. What do you think? I wouldn't go over there. The owner doesn't know what he's doing. Facilities are really nice.
You better get extra.
But, you're stuck in the suburbs. You're not really that close to New York City. Mm-hmm. These things are going to get found out anyway. So all the PA's trying to do is just make it a little easier. And also motivate the owners to clean up their mess.
That's it goes back to what I say about how I hate the lottery because you're a bad franchise, and when you're a bad franchise that loses, you get the best possible young player
that comes
sense. Out.
Right.
Why are you rewarded if you're that bad?
You shouldn't be rewarded.
You know what I think? If you're in the lottery, or if you're in the bottom 10 in the NFL or bottom 5 in the NFL 2 years in a row, the second year you got to go up. No way are you allowed to go back-to-back, either win the lottery back-to-back or be top 5 in the lottery, or in the NFL where there's no lottery, that you should be able to have 2 consecutive bottom 5 finishes because you're that bad. No way. That's rewarding you for being bad.
Right.
And then you celebrate, hey, we got these young players. We're going to be great now. And you know what happens? Those players end up not being developed properly, and you continue to suck. Hamster wheel.
Yeah, it does seem that way. Like how often, it very rarely does a team get, a couple of top 5 picks over a 3-4 year period?
Giants got
immediately
Saquon Barkley
develop
and
those
Daniel
guys.
Jones, 2 and 6. How'd that work out?
Not great, Bob.
But
although both of them are doing great.
Leagues.
Oh, no, that's why it's never the player's fault.
And leagues want these star players to be in places where they can excel and they can win and be successful. And it's just a mess. But that was good. That was that guy. Thursday. Coming up, more of your calls. So Frank, Stu, Heather, Anthony, hang in there. We're going to do the calls. At 5:30, we got Damien Woody. Always fun to talk to him, get his thoughts on Kafka's chance to save a chance to be the head coach of the New York Giants. ENN at 6. Take you right up to 7 o'clock, and then it's Ty Butler on ESPN New York.
What, Peter?
It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471-9773. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
All right, let's hammer these calls at 1-800-919-3776.
Pound them.
Frank in Newark, go.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. One of the things I'm actually curious about Kafka and his ability to coach the team on Sunday. And one of the reasons I say this is because I don't know if you remember last year, there was a time period where even Daniel Jones came out and said something. Now, I could be wrong, where he said that he's never been coached the way he was coached in Minnesota when he was on the practice squad.
Yes, he did say that
and
when
then,
he got there.
Exactly. And then we hear the reports about Wink Martindale couldn't get along with Daboll because he was a control freak or what have you. Mm-hmm. So I understand as a head coach, you kind of want to have it done your way, but at some point you got to let your coordinators and your coaches do their jobs. That's why you went ahead and appointed these individuals in your coaching tree. So I'm actually curious because if, let's say, Kafka, and this is very optimistically speaking, does well on Sunday and is able to coach this team, for one, it might make Joe Shane's job to searching for the next head coach a lot easier. But then it starts to put a level of skepticism for me as far as Daboll was concerned.
Well, that's what the hope is, Frank. Right? Like if you're the Giants, if you're John Mara, if you're Joe Shane, you're hoping that the only problem was Brian Daboll. And by getting rid of Brian Daboll, instantaneously become a better football team. Now, maybe that's not enough for Mike Kafka to become the head coach, but wouldn't that look good for the organization that, hey, our general manager's good, everything else is fine, we got rid of the one problem. But if they continue to play exactly the same, then it's, well, you know what, maybe Daboll wasn't the only problem. Maybe we still have a problem at general manager, and maybe Kafka doesn't know what he's doing in either. And now you got to blow the whole damn thing up. That's why I think the Giants are rooting for Kafka to win this job, is because it shows you that there was only one problem, and that one problem was eliminated. It's not a dozen problems, and we got to replace everybody. It was just the one.
Feels like a lot.
It
feels like a lot.
Please do not misunderstand.
One guy was holding the whole thing back.
This is not a prediction, but that's the hope, right? Like everybody wants it to just be the one issue.
Yeah, that's the easy way, is that he goes and everything just now works right. But there are injuries that have also been part of this, and the defense has been the reason for a lot of these collapses.
A lot of them.
And that nothing changed on that side. So you don't have the raving lunatic who gets unhinged on the sideline. You don't have that anymore. Does that calm the room down? Does that create a different environment on the sideline? I don't remember hearing players, though, having a major problem with the head coach. I just remember seeing a team whose defense couldn't stop anyone late in the game to protect the lead.
Right.
That's all I remember. That wasn't changed.
Right. That wasn't changed, but did those collapses come from something other than the defense not being able to come up with a stop?
Yeah, him being stubborn about play
it wasn't
calling.
like the offense was adding points. Remember, they didn't score a point in the fourth quarter in that game against Denver. Yeah. They allowed 36. And the kicking issues. And, because now you're hearing that the kid from Rutgers was something that Daboll really wanted, and it wasn't Koo. And now Koo's kicking field goal. Like, there's a lot of things that were going on just besides the defense. Anthony's in Fairlawn. You're on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. I got two quick Daboll points.
All right.
The one I can't believe I haven't heard anybody else make, which is I knew this guy isn't a good coach 2 years ago when I watched Hard Knocks and saw him lounging on a couch with his feet up on the table when his boss was in the room.
I remember that. I did think that was weird.
Instantly, like who does this guy think he is?
He was
He hasn't only been
comfortable.
there.
You know the other one too, Anthony, that bothered me a little bit. I'm a cigar guy. When they had that Zoom meeting and he was like in the pool smoking a cigar, like,
yep,
dude feels pretty good about himself.
He always carried himself
for not
weird.
having done anything in the NFL. Like, who do you think you are? You know.
He always had
that. The second thing, and the second point is, and I've only heard really Michael Kay say this, is a lot of people are saying, well, he's not a good head coach, but he's a genius offensive coordinator. He's so good at calling plays and developing quarterbacks. Like, there's actually zero evidence of that, and a lot of evidence that he's not good at it. When he was calling the plays for the Giants, we were in the 30th offense in the league. When Daniel Jones left, the guy automatically became better. Every other quarterback that we had got worse when they played for the Giants. He did nothing innovative with that offense whatsoever in the 4 years that he was there. So I don't even think this guy is a good offensive coordinator. I think he's a guy everyone wants to have a beer with. I think he's probably an awesome guy to talk football about. I don't think he's a good offensive coordinator or a head coach.
Well, that'll be like everybody looks. Remember, he wasn't the OC in Buffalo. Well, the whole time they gave him credit for Josh Allen. Was he? I don't know. Well, I think he's a good offensive mind.
Don't you think?
But that's not enough to be a head coach.
But to that point, if you think about it, his success and failure is tied to the players. His success is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's a talent. His success is Jackson Dart. I think we're seeing Jackson Dart's a talent, right? His failure, Daniel Jones, where he would just blame Daniel Jones. It's always Daniel Jones' fault. Russell Wilson, right? Like those were the things that it's not. It's the plays aren't being run or executed properly. So it's not like he was innovative enough to say, all right, well, Russ is making business decisions, so we're going to have to do things differently so we can maximize whatever we can out of him. Or Daniel Jones doesn't have the capacity to do the things we're asking him to do, so we have to design something around that and maximize that. And instead, it almost was like he'd get angry when Daniel Jones couldn't do what he's like, just do this.
Yeah. And when we're talking about Kafka's success here, we're attaching it to wins and losses. But in another way could be, let's say they lose to the Packers, but Winston looks good.
Yeah.
Goes out there and throws for 250, 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, they lose because of their defense. Right.
Well, that's going to be a hit on Daboll because why wasn't Winston backing up Dart?
Absolutely.
And maybe you beat the Bears if Winston's backing up Dart. Maybe you beat the Cowboys if he's back. If he's the starting quarterback instead of Wilson. Like now it starts to creep. Now the narrative begins. Oh, Daboll was the problem. Look, now if Winston goes out there and stinks, that's going to be a hit to Kafka. And that's going to be a plus to Daboll.
And that, by the way, and that could all just be because Winston now stinks. We haven't seen him play at all.
No.
May have nothing to do with Kafka whatsoever.
He
can't be worse
than
than Wilson.
That Wilson was the backup quarterback. We all kind of raised an eyebrow, like really, not that Dart didn't start right away. I think everybody kind of agreed with that. But then Wilson still backed him up even after how bad he was.
That was the weird
part. What's going on here? So if Winston's this hidden gem, why didn't Daboll see it? Why did he stop it? And what games could have been won had he been backing up Dart?
Well, you know what they aren't going to be able to do is just simply replace Jackson Dart with Jameis Winston, right? It's not like you just go in and just put it right over the top and you're getting the same exact thing.
No.
You feel what I'm saying?
No, of course.
You have to do a complete renovation of the offense.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes you need to do that.
Oh, well, she didn't see where he was going.
Very much.
You want it to fit.
You want it to fit.
But here's the thing, though.
Uniquely fit.
But you're not looking for a temporary
No.
Permanent solution.
You need this to be a permanent solution.
Actually, no, you don't. You really don't want Jameis Winston to be the permanent solution.
Right.
But let's be honest.
Let's follow this.
Let's go back.
Let's follow it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Because obviously, as you guys know, what I'm referring to is my good friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath in my house. They took an old bath out and they put in a gorgeous shower. Yes, they do that too. My sister liked it so much, she wanted to get her bath renovated as well. And Bath Fitter, they offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution. You get a watertight fit. Right now is the best time to get a renovation in your house, especially right before the holidays. You're going to have people over. You're going to have a guest bath or people using a bath if they're staying over, and you don't want to be embarrassed by some old bathtub or old shower that nobody wants to go in. They just won't tell you about it. So get it done right now. Why? Because it takes one day. It's durable. It's easy to clean. There's no demolition. Lower cost than a full replacement. And the best part, a lifetime guarantee. And right now is the best time to do it because you have no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. No interest payments until April of 2027. And they have their biggest sale of the year going on right now. You can save up to $800 on a complete bath fitter system. So see their website or call for details in this Black Friday savings. You can trust the bath fitter team just like we did. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one bath fitter.
Let's go back to the busy phones and talk to Heather in Springfield. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Heather.
Hey, guys. Hey, Don. I'm so glad I got to talk to you the other night at the Devils game.
Yeah, I saw her Monday at the Devil game.
Nice.
Remember she called a couple of weeks ago on a Friday? That was the topic of our conversation, right, Heather?
Yes, I called and I was with the Halloween candy draft, and I talked about basically everything but the Halloween candy draft.
We remember this. We do remember this.
I remember it well. It was troubling.
Okay, good. But I do have a point. I have something for that guy Thursday. So a little off topic, off football, but going into hockey. So I became a hockey fan within the last couple of years because my husband, football's my favorite sport, but he's a huge hockey fan. So I saw a documentary or a little tidbit on that new player, Schaefer. And then, Don, I think they were playing Toronto, and I guess it was like 2 weeks ago, and that one player came over, and they kind of like hit each other on the ice. And then, I don't know, Schaefer kind of had his stick under his arm, but then he hit him so hard that kid Schaefer's neck went back. Yep. I was like horrified. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you guys, within 2 seconds, his teammates were on top of that guy. And I don't condone violence, but I felt like in that particular moment, like, this is a new kid. Like, you can't do that. I just thought it was, like, horrible. And I just thought it was actually great that his teammates came over and they, like, did it to
how important
guy.
That is. Now, what did you say you were going to call yourself, Heather? You said you were going to call yourself something on the air. What happened?
Yeah, so I thought I was going to, become Heather Babbles.
You know what? I'd say you're 2 for 2 in that regard.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So should I say Heather from Springfield and say it's Heather Babbles?
Yeah, I think Heather Babble is exactly right, and we'll know what we're getting when we pick up.
That's a great character name.
I think it's. I think you lean into it, Heather.
Yeah, right.
Just don't be offended when you get this, Heather.
It was really nice to meet her. Seriously, like where we're situated at the Rock, I get to meet a lot of fans, and I got to see her on Monday. And
very cool.
She was really cool to talk to. But that is really important in hockey. There have been times where, whether I'm doing a game with Dave or now with Kenny or Bryce, where something egregious happens, there's no call, and then you jump that player and you take a penalty.
Yeah.
And the feeling from fans sometimes is that was a dumb penalty to take, and you give up a power play goal, and maybe you lose the game, and maybe it's it's a turning point.
Mentality's changing.
But sometimes it doesn't matter. You have to defend your teammate. It's the right thing to do. And when Schaefer was jumped, the Islanders did the right thing. You can't think about committing a penalty. You've got to do it.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But you have noticed in sports that mentality is starting to turn because of what you just said.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to take a penalty there. Just let it go and wait till later. Take a number, as they say. But it used to be that if you take out my player, I'm jumping you and we're going to go right now. Like instant accountability. And that's sort of going away.
No, it goes away.
You don't see it in basketball at all. Hard foul, they just lay there. Nobody gets up. Nobody gets mad. Nothing.
I know.
It's just like, no, because I'm going to get free throws. Why would I give you free throws as well? I'm going to win because I go to the line. But there's this feeling of, oh, well, he just got away with knocking you on your ass. He's going to do it again.
I know, because there was a time in the NHL where everybody made the playoffs and it really didn't matter. And games in November, who cares?
I guess so.
But now you can't have that mentality. Because right now, the Buffalo Sabres are in last place in the Eastern Conference.
Sorry, RJ.
They are 5 points out of a playoff spot.
That's insane.
So every game becomes really important. So that dumb penalty you take that leads to a goal, that leads to a loss, might be the difference of making the playoffs or not. And what do the fans do on the air the next day? I can't believe he took that penalty. Yep. We lost the game.
Right.
Back 30 years ago was like, what does it matter? We're still going to make the playoffs. Who cares? You can't say that anymore. The games, the regular season is very meaningful in the NHL now, more so than it's ever been before. So something you got to pay attention to. Big 5 o'clock hour, Damien Woody at 5:30, ENN at 6, Don Hahn Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We're going to start off in Jersey, 80 westbound in Denville, over by exit 39 for 46. A car fire being worked on. 2 lanes are out. You're packed there from 280 in Parsippany. Inbound George, no issues for both the upper and lower decks. Best of it's the outbound side. Henry Hudson, Deegan northbound at a standstill with a crash involving a tractor-trailer by the Willis Avenue Bridge. Backed up there across the Triborough and up onto the Bruckner. You stay packed northbound, heading over to the Cross Bronx. Outbound Lincoln will run you 20 to 30. Outbound Hona, 30 to 40 minute wait. Heavy delays on the BQE westbound in Queens. A broken down van in the right lane by Queens Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit mad.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel this November, it's your chance to gobble up the green and feast on your share of $55,000 cash. Earn entries all month long and join us on Friday, November 28th from 4 to 6 p.m. 2 winners will be drawn every hour to win up to $10,000 cash. Then at 7 p.m., 1 lucky winner will take home a grand prize of $20,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Who knew caffeine could taste this good? With 5-Hour Energy Shots, caffeine just got a serious flavor upgrade. We're talking big flavor, from watermelon to strawberry banana to sour apple. Packed into a tiny 2-ounce bottle, you'll get as much caffeine as 12-ounce premium coffee with 0 sugar and also 0 crash. And with 17 bold flavors to choose from, there's a shot for every mood. Find your favorite flavor in-store today or grab a variety pack online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon and give your caffeine a flavor upgrade. A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for 3.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time...
All right.
What are you doing? Is there some sort of technology on the computer that can stretch things out?
Is
there some kind of,
Can I get some?
Like in male magazines, there might be something that can enlarge certain things. Do they have that in like the radio magazines? Like, do you want to stretch out a sound? Are you embarrassed at parties?
And she'll like it too.
Yeah, and she'll like it too. Let the enhancer. Because I think there's enhancing going on there. Now, when they invented football for a day like today, where 2 hated teams get together on a Thursday and battle it out to see
the day the
who's
sport was meant to be
best
played on.
at this sport.
Yes.
And that's what I think of when I see Jets and Patriots playing on a Thursday in 2025.
Well, you can think about the Patriots because they're playing some of the best football in the league. The problem is the Jets are playing.
Right. And you know what? Let's not forget about that 13.5-point spread. But I'm picking the Jets by 3-point play because I'm being that guy.
By the way, that is that guy Thursday. That's unreal that you did
because
that.
you know why?
I
Everybody's
can't believe
like, how is it possible? Because it's the NFL, brother. Have you paid attention?
Are you watching?
Are you watching? And that game, the history kicks off at 8:15 tonight from Foxborough.
The history?
Islanders at Vegas. And listen, it's going to get, kittens stepping on the remote ratings compared to the football. I get it. But true entertainment's going to come from the Islander Golden Knights game.
Can I give you a quick Brunson update? Just got word.
Oh, this is more important than anything.
Oh, you did?
And you know what? It's bad news because it's today. And he said, you know what happens if you get an update today? But go ahead.
Ian Begley, Shams, so it's being reported in several locations. Jalen Brunson sustained a grade 1 right ankle sprain. He's going to miss tomorrow night's game against the Miami Heat.
And then day-to-day?
Evaluated daily. I don't like the evaluated daily part. It is certainly better than 2 to 4 weeks or any of that stuff,
yeah,
right?
Much better.
The daily means we'll just see how he feels each day. Now, there's 2 days off before they play in Miami on Monday. It's a home and home. So you're buying some extra days to see if he'll be good enough to go Monday night. But the Knicks will be without their star point guard Friday night at the Garden to finish the 7-game homestand.
Overall, though, that's not bad news.
It's no, again,
could have been way worse.
It's not the 2 to 4 week window that you get sometimes that's more concerning. This does feel like day-to-day. Evaluated daily certainly does sound like a day-to-day proposition, and it's a let's see how it improves. And keep in mind, again, today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gives him 4 days to see if he could be ready for the next game after Friday, which is Monday.
Not what you want.
Nope.
But
it could have been worse, though.
It could have been worse.
Could have.
Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. That's an Amazon vehicle tomorrow,
Yes,
correct?
it is.
So you get a nice Friday.
Had a nice weekend, yeah.
I'll be taking the train down to D.C. Looking forward to that.
You hear the little Cell Express?
Acela,
Yeah,
sure.
The biggest ripoff.
Quiet car.
Not a bigger ripoff in travel. And I say that
Can confirm.
Except for everything else about travel, but it's bad. I mean, you think about it, it's like $200 more, $150. It's 30 minutes faster.
Mm-hmm.
When people are like, "Oh, I'm taking the Acela,"
well,
they act as if they're breaking the sound barrier.
It's not on me.
All you're doing is not stopping at every stop.
That's it. It's
not
barely
on me.
No, that's why you're going to take it because someone else is paying for it. But when you look at it yourself and you go, "Hey, I'm going to get down,"
I've looked at that before, but
it's such crap.
But
and the train business. What are we doing?
And by the way, the Wi-Fi horrific.
Could get it together.
Getting no work done.
But I'll tell you this: a half hour is not nothing. When show's over at 6:30, big difference 6:30 and 7. The half hour is not nothing.
Well, no, particularly in that case.
But you're right.
Because of how much I enjoyed the last half hour of the show.
But I will say that I'm looking forward to going down to D.C., get to see Alex Ovechkin. Now, how much longer are we going to be able to see him?
Say hi to Ovi for us.
Devil's hot. That
Get
was
him
a
on the
huge
show.
win last night. Huge win for the Rangers last night. They put up a 6 spot in Tampa. I think they scored 4 goals on 5 shots on Vasilevsky. He's only going to the Hall of Fame. So just get the Rangers out of the Garden. But 12 goals, what was it? 12? No, 13 goals in 2 games. Not bad. And the Islanders, back-to-back wins against the 2 locals. So, hockey's in a good place. So we got that. Football, not so much. Basketball, the Brunson news
we just went a little crazy yesterday, Alan. We started talking about what we could have here. We started counting W's a little bit. Let's look at 20 games in.
Listen, I'm the first to admit it. Peter didn't wait for me to do it. He just jumped in. There it is. There's my theme music. That's my walk-up music. I don't know why I should have felt that I should have known, but I can I admit that I got a little drunk.
Can you start it from the beginning of Don't Fear
That's
the Reaper?
all the part. This is that.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Just that. Everybody knows what that means when you hear that.
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
And more Alan Hahn.
But it's
coming in and just
how I was drunk. I can't help it.
And then I got
tweeted, high on it.
A couple people got mad at me because I tweeted. I said at the end of the game, I tweeted, maybe we moved a little too quickly on the old Knicks today. And someone like, oh, really? Are you going to go jump out the window the other way and say they stink? I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
Do you want
I'm just saying let's not put them in the championship
Let's take a temperature today. You want to pull out the old thermometer?
Yeah, rectal.
800-919-3776.
It's really the
real
only
way
to truly take it
The
down.
true temperature is
With
rectal.
the mercury, the glass.
Oh,
That's right.
The glass one, for sure. Was I wrong?
Glass up your...
I
Why
jumped
did
the
they
gun.
market it that way?
Did I jump the gun with talking about the Knicks and how good they look and can be this year? Or is Peter being that guy, overreacting to what was one loss after a 5-game winning streak? As bad as it looked last night, it also looked like a team that was very tired in the second game of back-to-back and got out-physical. I saw red flags in the game, but the offense has been able to cover a lot of those red flags lately. It just wasn't there
here's
last
what
night.
Here's what I'm saying, though,
So
Donnie.
who's wrong, who's right?
Donnie, here's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm saying there's like a problem. I am saying relative to the conversation
You guys,
we were
you guys
having.
see a lower third on our YouTube now?
Yeah, these are professionals.
That's impressive.
Yeah, man.
No,
they
we
don't
know
give these
we
jobs to chimps.
No, they don't.
They give them to Anthony, who's a chimp with Jays.
Apparently my job did. But other than that,
All right. It looks great.
This is beautiful.
But listen, I'm not saying that there's a massive problem or they stink. I was saying relative to our conversation, which was, we know OKC is the best team in the league, but then let's start having a conversation. Let's start planning winning the East. All I was saying was it's sort of how I feel about Jackson Dart. I'm seeing a lot of good things. I'm not ready to say you have a quarterback for 10 years yet. The Knicks have every reason to compete for the East. If they were already there, though, the big boy move would not have been being completely outplayed on the second. I know it's the second half of back-to-back. Hey, young NBA fans, there was a time when that didn't mean you automatically lost by 30 points.
Especially back-to-back at home, and especially when you rested Mitchell Robinson in the first game so that he'd be there for the conference game in the second, right? So they were planning it out. Hey, we want to win both these games.
This is all right, so red flag 1, okay? Red flag 1 is how they finished the game the night before. And they ended that game. They were not in a good mood in the locker room after the game because they won the game, yes, but a 28-point lead was down. It got too close, dicey. And what you started to see was the defense getting a little loose and getting a little soft because the offense was just coming so easy, right? I love how you both picked up phones as I started doing that.
I'm checked out.
I'm trying to get acknowledgement. That's all I'm saying.
I answered you.
So my kids do it. It drives me crazy.
But your kids don't have a producer
sit down
giving
for a
you
minute.
information on the show that they're doing. They don't listen to you because they don't like you.
Yeah.
I like you, and I'm listening to you, but I'm also trying to do a show. Why would he call that out?
It's cameras everywhere.
You know he said, and we both did it. If it had been one of us,
it was
he could
from my
have powered through.
producer. No. Anthony Pusick texted me.
You should have seen how fast the two of you both literally I started talking, you both went like this. Like it really was like the obvious, like, you know what, I'm not really interested in this.
I've seen enough.
Like it really was amazing. The synchronicity of the pickup.
By the way,
I kind of want to replay on video of this.
We should do replay.
I don't know if
it was
catches
amazing
it.
timing, which is the only reason why I brought it up.
All right, go ahead. Continue, please.
It was really fun.
saw it. Look at my shot.
Why are you
they
getting
wouldn't have
upset?
seen it. I'm upset because I got called out.
Let me see. I can't tell. Look, Don goes ahead. I got to tell you, I see what you're saying, Don. I actually loved it. I mean, it's a bad guy thing that he did, but it's really quality radio.
I'm just trying to point out
said,
the
wow,
fact that
you lost me.
this is what I see.
And
what I mean?
how far did you get into it? About a sentence?
Drifted. I don't even remember where I was. I have no idea where I was. I just started making a point. I was like,
He
wow.
mentioned the red flag. That they were soft on defense at the end of the first game.
and that they were unhappy in the locker room about the game.
I heard it all.
We were
The
there.
offense
was
but
easy.
We're multitasking
And
here.
then the next day,
Go ahead.
the very next day, they play a rested team that is notoriously physical. And the start of the game, they came out punching, physical, nasty. And the Knicks players were almost like, I'm not in the mood for this tonight. And that's a red flag. Like, wait a minute. Like you said, Peter, the good teams, back-to-back, doesn't matter. And I was waiting for someone. Because, all right, so Brunson looked a little tired, is missing shots short. Towns, missing shots. OG Anunoby, missing shots. Okay, so someone else is going to have to do something. And no one else really did anything. And that was the red flag. There's not that someone else that can step up. Jordan Clarkson was brought in to be that guy sometimes. He didn't have a good game.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the issues. And then the offense couldn't save a defense that had gotten soft over the last couple of games because they didn't have to be tough because they've been scoring so easily. So I should have seen this coming. And I'm mad that I didn't see
You
it.
misread the night before.
Because I was so drunk. I was so drunk on it.
No, but you also, I remember you said this. You liked the fact that they seemed angry about it, and you thought, all right, that's going to translate into a dub tomorrow. And it didn't play that way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I misread it.
Yeah.
I was drunk off the optimism instead of seeing the reality
you
of
also
it.
went
I'm
0 for 3 in the picks last week. Maybe you're just not feeling things
I'm in
this
a
week.
rut.
Yeah, you're just in a rut
I need
right
better
now.
help.
I don't have what read, but I appreciate what you're saying.
That would have.
I was a
That
gamble.
would have been money.
Yeah,
I threw
BetterHelp.com/timeout.
that was I threw that one blind, hoping you'd be there.
There you go.
Oh, well.
great.
1-800-919-3776. Chris and
What,
Wantagh.
Peter?
You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Don, Allen, Peter. Hope you guys can hear me good. Listen,
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say, I know we don't want to talk about it, and it is what it is. Magic played great, back-to-back. There was a lot of things that we should have done better, but all I know is I only caught really the second half, but I know in the first half, Mitch got 2 early fouls quick, and then Josh Hart got 2 early.
Well, now we
We're
can't.
losing you.
Mitch,
What,
and then
Peter?
Mitch had
Repeat that again because we did lose
2
you.
early fouls. Mitch had 2 early fouls in the third right away, which were suspect calls. And the whole second half, there was a lot of times there was M1s that couldn't have been had. It was a nationally public game, and 85% of the money was on the Knicks. And listen, just sometimes that's the way the whistles go in the NBA. We know how it works with what happened a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Allegations, Chris.
Here we go.
Allegations.
But I got to be honest with
The
you.
fix was in?
I've said it. With everything that's gone down, I can't shout down these people that want to go there. Right?
It depends on the situation. I shout down some. Chiefs ones can be hard. You watch some of those games, you go, all right. I don't know. The Knicks.
Well, what about what he said?
I don't know. I don't see that being a conspiracy.
I don't either. I'm just saying I'm not going to get mad when people go there based on the current climate.
Yep.
They always would go there,
Yeah,
and
but
it would completely be baseless. Now it's not completely baseless. Still could be wrong, but not completely baseless. Let's go to Danny, Centerport. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Danny.
Hey, boys. How we doing?
Good.
Alan, before I get to my point, so make sure before I hang up, I give you a personal compliment. Seriously, just after I get to my point here. Guys, listen. I want to believe in this coach, and I do believe in this coach right at the moment, okay? We knew we were getting involved with Aaron Glenn. We knew we were getting a first-year coach. Some of the things he's done are definitely suspect. The calls are suspect. But I want to judge him on his body of work right now, and I think his body of work at the moment is pretty decent, right? His team has fought for him a couple of breaks. He could have had a couple of more wins. I'm having a hard time believing into him, especially tonight, Alan. If he puts Fields out on his field tonight, he's trying to tell me about building a winning culture, and he wants to win, and he wants the fans to be proud. I can't be proud if he puts this quarterback out there tonight, and if he does, it's got to be a short leash. If we see what we've been seeing in some of these games, I can't get behind him and leaving him on the field. I really can't, because then I have to start to question him. Like, he's been in his game for so long, and he's watched so much football, how he could sit back and say this is competent quarterback play is mind-blowing. So if you want to support the team and the fans, you got to give this guy
you know what else? You know what I'd say to that, Danny, too? They're going for 3 in a row. They're going for like mojo tonight, right? Like, can we? And by the way, you somehow beat this 8-2 juggernaut that the Patriots are becoming on national television. Next week we're having a conversation about this. I know it sounds insane. This is a team that's actually showing some heart here, and they're putting a little something together.
Now who's drunk?
And
I know. But if they're only 1 win away from it happening, and you would think that Aaron Glenn, Aaron Glenn should treat the game that way. And if Fields is horrible, you got to make the movies right.
This is your playoff.
But, but I would say this. Thank you for the phone call.
Oh, no. He had another point, but it's okay.
That Fields has had moments. All right?
He had one moment against Cincinnati. Who played
and Pittsburgh. All right, and listen. Last week he was awful, but it is at least against a really good defense.
Week 1 doesn't count.
Now it
doesn't count.
It was so long ago.
All right, I understand.
He
stinks,
week.
but you don't have choices. It's not like you've got the golden goose sitting on the sidelines that you traded back into the first round to get. It's Tyrod Taylor. All right. Do I think Taylor right now is better than Fields? Probably, but it's not like he's got great choices to make. Cleveland's a really good defense. And you're going up against a team that's really good against the run, so that's going to be taken out from you, and you lost your best receiver.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good any of these quarterbacks are going to look
And you have a
tonight.
quarterback that can't throw. So
All right, I'm told that my normal distraction is worth bringing up in this case. What's happening on the ESPN screen up there? Is it that cold? Is there a sunburn situation? How can their faces be that red?
I think Matt Berry has sunburn.
You think Matt Berry burned himself?
Well, first of all,
every Saturday he's in some southern college campus doing crazy stuff.
How cold can it be? They're just in suits. They're not even wearing jackets.
No, he's sunburned. That's not windburn. That's not Tom Coughlin face.
Wait a minute.
I think he's sunburned.
The condition known as Coughlin.
How long does your face stay sunburned? Did he get third-degree burns on his face?
That's what I'm saying. It's
is that makeup? Is that bad makeup?
But by the way, the other guy has it too. Why is his face so red?
You're right.
I think, God, it almost looks like they're soused.
I know, but
when you know that's not the case.
Soused.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
It's from Slapshot.
And does it mean drunk?
Yeah.
Sauce?
Yeah. Sauce, but soused.
But soused?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've heard soused before.
Well, only in Slapshot, right?
I'm sure that's where I got it from.
Don't hit Brophy. He's soused. Right? Look at him. He's soused.
I don't know if there's something wrong with our TV.
It's worrisome, though.
But, like,
well, we're not
hands,
soused.
His hands look
but that's
normal.
the YouTube. Yeah, it's a different. I don't.
But, like, if he was.
No, look at the color right here on the game. The color on the game looks perfect.
If he was burned on Saturday, it's Thursday.
Yeah,
we should. I want to put a.
Don't you got like some Noxema or something? I mean, what are you going to do?
Let's put a message in.
Some.
No, it would be more. We need to. First of all, you need to use some suntan lotion, and then you need to use some moisturizer and some. What's the
aloe.
plan? Some aloe.
Yeah.
Rub a little aloe on there. Call it a day. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's definitely not cold. He's got no jacket on. The other guy's got like a hoodie.
Get to the bottom of this.
We're going to figure. Alan's texting people.
Oh, look at that.
By the way, I went back and
How do you
looked.
spell soused?
By the way, sauce. By the way, I went back and looked at I went back and looked at the tape. When Alan called us out, no one watching would have known that we did what he said.
But he's got issues.
Both of our phones were below.
Listen.
And he just couldn't take
My view is like right here.
And he just saw this.
All right.
And you're simultaneous. It was synchronous. You both, as I started my point, picked up your phones.
You know what you feel like? It
was
like
funny.
You know what it's like to be Peter Rosenberg on the K Show. Now, it wouldn't be Don, but there would be plenty of times when I start talking and Michael goes like this.
But that was because he could care less about you or anything else.
No, I know. Right. You got a message from the producer.
But I got a message from the producer, similar to the text that Alan got about Brunson. Should he have been sitting on that if I was making some sort of brilliant point, or do you look at your phone? So I see a text from Anthony. And I'm like, this might be something.
It could be important.
Like maybe they called the Jet game tonight because of lack of interest. I'd want to be able to tell people that, right? You
waiting for I'm sorry?
It's BetterHelp. If
there's no BetterHelp.
You listen to the number when he gives it.
No, it's
trust me.
What kind of discount does he get?
I've for years.
Time out to pound 250.
Listen, you guys understand that I'm that building in Manhattan that has the scaffold around it, and you walk by going, they still working on that thing?
Yeah,
that's me.
No, he's damaged. He's got real problems.
The scaffold's still here.
If
it's not going down.
Then I'm a wreck.
No, I think you're way better.
No, you
off
don't
than
understand.
him. He's a maniac.
Buildings, the facade's fine. But
didn't I tell you? I told you a couple months
into the show. The structure's a mess.
Yeah, exactly. The facade looks great.
The facade's fine.
You lift up the hood.
Internally, though, we've got all kinds of issues going on.
Listen, it looks like a brand new Maserati. You lift up the hood, it's a 71 Pinto.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The spark plugs are just running into the engine. There's water pouring out. You don't know what's going to happen.
Don't know what to do. We're just trying to get down the street.
If he had said during the break, like, guys, not for nothing, I was trying to make a point. You're looking at your phone.
No,
I'd have been like,
oh, that's a good point. That's a bad job by us.
On the air.
Yeah.
And nobody saw.
No, but they heard him.
Yeah.
Well, now they know.
Yeah.
Now we look like bad guys that don't care.
No. I don't know if you look like bad guys that don't care. You look like guys who are like, I don't give a rip what this guy's got to say.
That's not true.
But it's the exact opposite. I give a rip about the show. Now, full disclosure, Anthony was just reconfirming the Mets Hall of Famers.
Oh, that's big
that
news.
are going into the Mets Hall of Fame.
Huge.
I don't know if I needed to see it at that particular second, but I don't know unless I look.
Listen, I do enough self-loathing on this show. There's only room for one, and it's
Anthony,
me.
From now on, this is Alan's idea.
Okay.
Is that don't text us during Saturday.
I will say this,
Everybody's got to wait during the break.
I didn't send that.
I don't care. If
I sent that 2 segments ago. Your phone just got it. That's not on me. And I apologize.
You see a text. I don't know.
You suck, Busek.
It's because I'm not staring at my phone because I'm completely intrigued by what my co-hosts say. The one time I glance down, I see that there's a text, I pick it up. If I was ignoring you all the time, I would know every text. I'd be looking at Twitter. I'd be texting Anthony, please text me something. This guy won't shut up. And that doesn't happen.
Now, do you realize that?
Have you ever sent that text before with other hosts? I'm curious now.
No, I've never.
Never?
I've thought of it.
But also, Alan's way out of bounds here, too, because just
this confirmed.
Just because we already said that.
That's confirmed.
Because just texting, I understand why it's irritating, because I really have had to power through this many times. I get it, and I know I do it to other people. Yeah, the show, and people being on their phones. The show as well. But in Alan's case, I mean, I know so many broadcasters, we all do, who care deeply about their job. I won't name names. And you could text them in between plays, and they respond. It doesn't mean they're not dialed in and they don't care. It just means over time, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, we all get used to. But now we're having a battle of sensitivity because you have Alan play Ralph Tresvant, because you have Alan who was so sensitive that he saw us get up on our phones and it made him feel bad. But now you have Don who's being sensitive about being called out. So we've got double sensitivity working against each other here.
Once again.
It's the irresistible force of the immovable object.
It's actually a great psalm, though.
Good job.
I don't mind this.
No, because I was publicly called out, so I should be sensitive.
But it was first of all, it was the both of you. Second of all, it's the view. You have to understand the synchronicity of the view. I'm looking this way, and I see two hands. Just the minute I start, reach for the phone. That's the ultimate. I'm checking out.
But
both guys.
But
one of you just
I'm going to say
a second.
He's talking about Michael Kay. And I could tell you that when Michael Kay was looking at his phone, 90% of the time was because he did not care what you were saying, because usually when you were done talking, he'd put the phone down and go, interesting, and then move on to the next subject. We continued to be engaged in the conversation.
And told you what you said.
Right. So,
but you know what, though? This is what made the show work. You two would lean on each other in those moments when he would fall into the glass
and you had no one. You had no one.
I had no one.
He was by himself.
But I'm looking for somebody, anybody.
But there
Who's
is
here?
there is
I'm on
no
an island.
that moment, because there is not that moment. I can't speak for Peter because maybe he was checked out.
No.
But when you're sitting in this seat, you've got to pay attention to other things. Also, Peter and I have to look at our phones because our parking might be up. There's a lot of things that make us want to grab our phone that have nothing to do with you not being interesting in what you're having to say.
Well, listen, sure, there are times when you're not interesting, but that wasn't one
There's
of them.
times I'm not interesting.
You? No.
You're not interesting.
How dare you?
The show's not interesting.
Well,
that's not necessarily the reason why we're picking up our phone.
Well, it's not right now.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to tell you about a similar moment that I had in Los Angeles.
This is good. This is healthy. We're getting
Is
it
this
out.
with me?
But you know what? I'm going to do it quickly because Damien Woody's coming up. But he's a good guy. He can wait for
He can handle it.
Because, I'm new to doing the play-by-play. So I'm in L.A., and I go into the radio booth to talk to Chico Resch.
Sure.
All right? But I'm a little nervous not being in the television booth. So I'm looking at my phone to see if they're texting me stuff that I need to know for the game. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to go say hello to Chico.
Yeah.
So Chico's talking to me. I glance at my phone. He's like, oh, you're looking at your phone. I'm like, no, Chico, no, I care about what you're saying. I just, they might be asking for me. And I was done. I was cooked.
In the old days, if you did this,
no, but
that's the sign. So, even though if you're just curious what time it is.
Alan's feelings though were much more reasonable than Chico's, because I hate when that happens when you're talking to someone but you need to keep an eye on something and you feel bad, but you're like, I gotta look, and so you're just like, all right. I hate whenever someone does that to me. I never call them out. Now, if it continued for 40 seconds, I'd be like, hey, do you need a minute?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to give people the 2-second check. No, but see, what's that, though?
What was that? Why did you show me that?
I don't know. DiPietro texted.
Well, why would he say that?
I'm not sure. I don't know what we were talking about at the time. What would we just now?
No, but why would anyone send a picture of that?
Why would you have that at the ready?
No, we know him to be a heterosexual man. Why would he send a picture of that?
Which means he had to Google it.
Yeah, he Googled it, and why did I look? I don't.
And now I can't.
He just Googled a picture and sent it to us. I can just imagine what his pop-ups are going to be on his phone.
No, it's popped up.
Well, listen, not fully.
Is it though?
Damien Woody's coming up next here. Our weekly spot, Don on Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist anytime from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. Sawmills southbound at a standstill in Yonkers right before the Mosholu and the Henry Hudson. Car fire blocking 2 lanes. Traffic is backed up onto the westbound Cross County. You're crawling there from 87. Still not so great on the Deegan northbound, heading over to the outbound George. Crash involving a tractor trailer by the Willis Avenue Bridge. Backed up there across the Triborough into Queens and up onto the Bruckner. You stay on the brakes northbound, heading over to the Cross Bronx. Inbound George about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln Orania 20 to 30. Outbound Holland a 45-minute ride. Seton Hall men's basketball tonight at the Rock in Newark. Heavy ride on 280 in both directions, heading over to 21 in the Stickle Drawbridge. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
I'm loving the old REO Speedwagon. I actually was listening to this song on the way to work today. How about that?
Were you?
So I think Jacob's
just randomly
rent-free in my head. Yeah. It's a good song. You know the song at all?
I absolutely know this song.
On an album that's got the best album title of all time. REO Speedwagon.
Help me out. You're going to say it, I'm mad at myself, but just do it.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
I did not know that one. Okay.
It's a great line. It's a line that I hear Damien Woody uses every once in a while when he's trying to pick up women. Time now for Damien Woody Report, which is brought to you by Bet365.
D Wood. What?
You didn't use that line back in the day?
Man, no. Man, I don't have any game, man. My wife got me. I didn't get her. I don't have any game.
Oh, boy, that's funny, man. How you doing, all right?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you guys doing?
Well, good. We're just, getting ready for this game tonight. But before we dive into Jets and Patriots, just your thoughts on the Daboll firing. And with 7 games remaining, is there a world in which Kafka can get a serious look at maintaining this job beyond this year?
Well, I would say as far as Brian Daboll is concerned, he's a friend of mine, and I hate to see that it came down to this. But at the end of the day, it's a results-driven business. And when you have, I think the stat was like 4 games where you had double-digit leads that were blown this year, and just mismanaging the quarterback. And when you don't win, man, this is what happens. And he's had plenty of time, plenty of time here in New York to kind of get this thing rectified and on the right path. And unfortunately, it didn't lead to that. But I still have the highest regard, and as far as Brian and his offensive mind is concerned, and he'll land on his feet somewhere. But as far as Mike Kafka is concerned, he was a guy that's been in kind of circulation as far as potential head coaching jobs in previous cycles. So I think this will be a prime opportunity to see what he can do in these few games with the New York Giants. I'm sure that this is an opportunity for them to really peep out what he can do. And I've said about this Giants situation, this might be the best. It might be the best opening when it's all said and done, because obviously the market, the quarterback, the pieces that they have on this team, it's going to be a very attractive job. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
D-Wood, if there's anyone that you could just pick, so without getting into all the details of availability and all that stuff, if you could just pick somebody and say, this guy would be perfect for this job, or I'd love to see this guy get that job or have that job, who would it be?
I haven't thought too much on it. I think my criteria, though, the one thing I will say I think the Giants need to do, I think they need to go to a veteran coach. I think someone who has prior coaching experience, like a Vrabel type that went to New England. I don't think that, no more coordinators this go around. I think they need a proven commodity, someone that's been there, done that, can handle the job, because it is a big job, and, you got this young, bright quarterback that you need to round in the form. And so I would look towards a coach with veteran experience.
All right, let's shift over to tonight's game, Jets-Patriots. Doesn't have the excitement that we usually get out of Jets-Patriots. One team's definitely on the way up, and the Jets have won a couple of games in a row here. I know they're a huge underdog, and no Wilson. We don't even know who the starting quarterback tonight's going to be, but what's your feeling on the Jets going into this game, trying to keep that momentum going after what's between on the field and off the field has been a pretty good couple of weeks here for this team?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of there's some good things that's really happened over the past couple of weeks. I think the defense has played a lot better. I think there's been a little bit more cohesion on that side of the ball, and obviously, I think one of the biggest things is, after the trade deadline, just the focus on giving Breece Hall the ball more. Good things happen to you offensively when you feed him the ball. He's very talented. The offensive line it's getting better each and every week now. The negative is he's going up against the best rush defense in the league in the New England Patriots. They are. Calling them stingy is an understatement. They are very good, so that's going to be a challenge. And obviously the quarterback situation and throwing the ball to guys, with no Garrett Wilson out there is obviously going to be a challenge. But listen, if you're the Jets, what you want to continue to do is you want to continue to build the culture. You want to continue to build this thing the right way. Go out there. You have nothing to lose. You're 2-7, man. Go out there, play to the best of your ability. Yeah, they might not win, but you want to continue to build good habits and put good tape out there moving forward.
Now, a caller just brought this up, and I thought it was a fair point, Damien. Like, if you're Aaron Glenn and you're building a little bit of mojo at least over the last couple of games and the off the field moves, if you end up in a game where, let's say, your defense is somehow playing well against this great Patriots offense, but the offense just isn't generating anything with Fields, you think he'll be quick to pull the trigger and go to Tyrod to try to make something happen, or is he going to be committed to Fields here? Because I don't know, man. The last couple of weeks, Fields has gone back to, or the last week, really, we saw the old Fields that was just not producing at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. Like, if this game is competitive and offense isn't doing anything, I wouldn't even hesitate to put Tyrod in there because, listen, I've always said it's a couple things. Number one, it's not fair to the rest of the team. You're going out there and, guys are scratching, clawing, fighting, trying to get a win. But also, you need to evaluate some players out there on offense. Here it is. You're probably going to have A.D. Mitchell up for the first time. That was the wide receiver from Indianapolis that was in the trade for Sauce. Okay, John Mechie III. Arian Smith, all these, all of these guys, these young guys, these unknowns on offense that you need to start evaluating these guys. You can't evaluate these guys if this quarterback keeps playing the way that he's playing. So if this game is competitive, if it's close and he's not producing, then I would not hesitate to take him out and put Tyrod Taylor in the game.
Is this Patriot team legit? I mean, could they come out of the conference? Can they win this division?
Oh, they can absolutely win this division. I mean, Don, listen, I know people will talk about their schedule and the strength of schedule. You can only play who's on your schedule. That's number one. But, outside of that, they do have quality wins against, but on the road at Buffalo and at Tampa. This team is legit. They're top 10 in both offense and defense. Their quarterback, Drake Maye, who I've been talking about for weeks now, is an MVP candidate. And they can just beat you in a lot of different ways. They got a bunch of guys that, no one's caught. No one. It's not like an A.J. Brown type thing where guys just making a lot of noise. They just have a bunch of unheralded guys. And I know they have Stephon Diggs, but on any given Sunday, a guy could just explode. Last week was Mac Hollins. Week prior could be Kayshon Boutte, Stephon Diggs. So they got a bunch of guys that can go off, and they're obviously well coached with Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, isn't it great? The Patriots are back. Ugh.
Love it.
I know you love it, D-Will, but for me, it's
for us non-Pat people, this is tough.
This makes me sick. But
well, the thing that I said this past week. Buffalo had a stranglehold on this division for like 6 years, and they don't have anything to show for it. Like nothing, no Super Bowl appearances, nothing. And now here it is. The Patriots are back again. So that should be debilitating if you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
No, absolutely. You were a guy that was active in the NFLPA, correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of the fact that the NFL now is filing this grievance against those annual team report cards, where the union would have players grade different things about the player experience at different franchises and all, and the fact that they feel that's now against the CBA and they shouldn't be doing this? How do you feel about that?
I think it's crazy. I think the PA is doing owners a favor by doing this. I think this is one of the best things the PA decided to do because, it just gives players an opportunity to kind of speak their mind and speak freely because it's anonymous, and just really tell the story about how the players feel about how the organization is ran on a myriad of levels. And listen, it's not shocking that some of these organizations who got bad grades are the ones that are the saltiest. But I will say this: I think because of some of these grades, it ignited change. Think about all these new locker rooms and all these things that happen. That's because of these reports where these teams felt compelled. Wait a minute, how can we compete for free agents, or how do we want to retain our guys if they feel a certain way about our organization? So, like I said, I don't know why the uproar, but you should be glad that the players are kind of letting you know how they truly feel about your situation.
All right, before we let you go, how engaged were you the other night in that Islander Devil game?
Listen, Don, I was, the Devils are the real deal, but the Islanders, come out, saw them with the 3-2 win, and I just had to shout them out on X. And I got a lot of things going on between the kids and obviously studying, watching these games, but always people of my Islanders, man. I like the direction they're going in. I like the direction, and so I'm going to make my way out to Long Island and go check them out soon.
It was a good game. It was a really good game.
If you did have the time to consume on television, what feed would you have watched, the Islanders or the Devils?
Oh, that's a great question.
Burke or LaGreca?
Oh, LaGreca, come on, hey, come on! Don, you're my guy, so I gotta shout you out on that one.
Well, thank you so much.
Can't wait to tell Brendan about this.
Yeah, well, listen, have fun, enjoy the game tonight, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, that was the Damien Woody Report, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. phone calls, and then ENN at 6. We're up till 7 o'clock, so let's have some fun until Ty Butler right here on ESPN New York.
Listen up, football. Never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Hey, it's Michael Kay, talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you can trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
He's coming. Here he comes. Surprise! Your table saw broke. Also, the warranty expired weeks ago, so you need to pay for a new one out of pocket.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Oh, and the replacement part you ordered doesn't fit, so it's completely useless. What a waste.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Don, Hahn Rosenberg, take you up till 7 o'clock. ENN's coming up at 6. Let's get back to the busy phones. Let's go to Brody in Heightstown. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Brody?
What's going on, guys? As always, love listening to you. And, always talking about sports, but who cares about what's going on anyway? When I saw the phone incident I thought nothing of it. Alan made a joke out of it. We kept it moving. But I had to call in after Danny from Centerport got hung up on by Don. So I was trying to figure out if it was because he was still looking down at the phone or because he didn't want Alan to get the compliment. I'm nothing if I'm not honest, guys.
Right. You know what?
Forever, but I got to call it out.
You know what's interesting? I completely forgot because it was a long call, and I wanted to try to squeeze in. We were up against the break. I forgot, and he said he wanted to give Alan the compliment. So please, by all means, call back, man. I want Alan to get that compliment. You must have forgotten about it, too. You didn't say anything, and you're one to tell us everything that's on your mind. So if you were upset about it, you would have said something, right?
Is it a problem that I take off the filter here? Like I thought that's what we're supposed to do. Everybody always said like you're not revealing enough about yourself. You got to show personality. All right, I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking from now on.
I love it. And Brody, I thank
Let
you for
it
calling
go,
me
man.
out. So what was the name of that call?
Absolutely.
Remember what was his name again, Brody?
Yeah, it was Danny in Centerport. And listen, I've been with you guys forever. I love you guys to death, but Alan's the new one, and I'm here to support him, man. I learned him because of the K Show and listening to ESPN Radio, and now I can't get enough of any of
Danny in Centerport, please call back. We want to hear the compliment for Alan. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I like to keep it moving, that's all.
No, I understand.
And I was a little quick with the button because he was in the middle of talking, but it didn't feel like we were getting to the compliment anytime soon.
And you had no time for that. You were like, this guy doesn't.
Now, by the way, Danny in Centerport is the one who truly launched into the massive attack against Danny from Long Island.
Yes.
He was the one who obliterated him last week.
We have not heard.
Danny from Centerport was ready to actually
physically throw down.
Go find him.
And,
Remember, he said
now,
that.
And now, do we think it's coincidence that we haven't heard from Danny since?
And you called him out Monday, right?
No.
This was all Friday.
It was fraud.
It was all part of Fraud Friday.
Fraud Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because Halloween was...
So tomorrow makes a full week because this was Fraud Friday. Yep. He called us Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning, he called the morning show.
Right.
Friday afternoon, we hit him on Fraud Friday.
Haven't heard since.
Haven't heard. Now, I got on the air on Monday or Tuesday, and I said I was feeling a little bit of guilt, snowflake that I am, that watch yourself, nice and easy.
I got it. No, sorry.
That maybe we went
empty.
That maybe we went too hard.
Didn't sound good, though.
That maybe we went a little too hard on him. And even though it was really the listeners who went harder than we went, although we took some shots as well.
And we weren't mad at the listeners at all.
And now, do we lose Danny? Has he called the morning show this week? Is he alive?
Well, maybe he's boycotting us. Boycott me. I boycott you.
But we didn't. And by the way, did we ever even make a ruling?
No.
Don, you were supposed to come back Monday and rule about whether there was a Danny ban, a banny.
Well, we don't have a banny because we didn't
do it.
What's the sign? What do we have? It's called are you the ban caller?
Anthony. Move the sign so we can see it.
Worst caller is still Dave in Westchester.
So
that's
Dave
right. You know what? I'll rule tomorrow because it'll be Fraud Alert Friday, and I'll have my rule.
Well, he's had a 1 week.
He's had a 1 week punishment then.
But is he? We just have to find out if he's called any other shows. I have not heard him at all this week.
No, he might. He might say,
"I'm out.
I'm out. You guys, I'm not calling you anymore. That's it. I'll call the other station.
He'll make it easier."
God, but why should I still feel bad though? It was a bad guy fraud move by him.
It was.
And I didn't when I got on the air the next day, I didn't call him out of his name. I didn't say horrible things about him.
No, other people did.
Other people said they wanted to physically assault him, and we said to calm down.
Yeah, you know what you did? You just sparked the flame. That's all.
But I didn't. But all I did. You can't start a fire.
You
can't start a fire without a spark. This gun's for hire.
Yeah.
Even if it's just Danny in the dark.
Just waiting to see where you go.
But we don't want him in the dark. I feel
all
bad.
I'll say is we started a spark, but it was very flammable.
It felt like Peter said, just stand up and stand down.
But you know who also set it off? Lonnie. Remember Lonnie from the company called.
It started getting aggressive.
And he was like, nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody cares.
Well, that was
and we said, okay, whoa.
Lonnie needed to tone it down. And we even said that.
And we did. We jumped in and said, all right, Lonnie, no one's saying
relax
that.
yourself.
So are we all clear that we like Danny from Long Island?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to.
It was.
Didn't like that he went there about Miss Hatton.
Well, and all of it. Here's what I didn't like. Miss Hatton could take a joke. I could take a joke. No big deal. What I didn't like was we've built this friendship, this quiet respect for one another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know we're not the exact same people, but we get along. We find the things that we do get along on, and we celebrate that with friendship, with camaraderie, fellowship, if you will. I didn't like that he called up, made a joke that was a little personal, took a little bit of, and I said, ha, 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 okay. And then the next day he goes, I'm going to go somewhere else and try again. He deserved to get slapped. Right. That you deserve pow pow. You deserve a little.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But I didn't want to kill the guy.
But I would say that I would not ban him, especially since he hasn't called in a week.
Well, that makes it easy. He banned us.
But Danny from Centerport is back. I apologize. I had forgotten you wanted to compliment Alan. The floor is yours.
Wow, there's a lot of pressure, guys. That's very nice of you.
Do you remember it, or did you forget it?
Yeah.
If he forgot it, then it's not really a compliment.
No, I didn't forget it. It was the first thing I really wanted to say. Alan, listen, you know you're my guy, and I'm an avid Knicks fan. I'm not a huge Knicks fan, but I got it in my blood a little bit. But the end of the game the other night when you were interviewing Jalen Brunson at the end of the night, I got to tell you, man, I stayed with it just because it was you interviewing it, and don't take it the wrong way, but my man, you were shining like a diamond, man. You were looking good. Your suit looked great. You looked sharp. You weren't waiting by anything. You were in the middle of the court. Go ahead.
No. I'm just
he
singing
was
the
singing.
song.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You were just complimenting Alan.
You were in the center of the court, with everybody listening, and no hiccups, no anything. You were just solid and looking really good, man. So God bless you what you're doing. You're keeping yourself great, and I appreciate it, man. And listen, my last thing, because I got fired up with Danny from Long Island. I think he should be at least banned until the end of the football season when there's not much to talk about. Just my opinion, because I think he was really, really disrespectful in all different counts. Well, I said that to you guys that day.
No, you made it very clear,
I will
Danny.
take it under advisement.
And Danny, thank you.
Yeah,
it does mean a lot every now and then. In between the whole "you suck" is
that was
to
worth
get
it.
One person that says, "You know what? You're not that bad."
He was like, "You looked good. You smelled good.
No, I don't remember the smell part unless he's got.
He was laying it in there.
No, he was. Listen,
you know what's starting to happen now though with a lot of these on-court interviews, especially like Jalen's 6'2", so I'm taller than him.
Yeah.
And then I have Karl Anthony Towns, who's listed at 7 feet, and we're eye to eye. And so it's become a thing with people trying to guess how tall I am.
Now, let me ask you a question. In wrestling, if you were an announcer, because in wrestling, it's not exactly what we call the full truth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's our truth.
Unless it's our truth. We wouldn't want.
Nice.
Like, you wouldn't want me towering over a talent. That would be, if there was, let's say I was interviewing Rey Mysterio.
So you think like the NBA should put a ban on anybody bigger than the players?
Not saying that, but I'm saying, would you ever accidentally, on purpose, just naturally sort of like spread your legs a little bit and get a little lower? No. You know what I'm saying? Spread your legs out to the side.
Maybe in
college. To get a little lower.
Alan Hahn is a big dude.
You know what I mean? You don't want to make Jalen look small.
No, I that's the thing I don't realize. It's not like you're doing it on purpose. I'm trying to just do an interview. You know what I mean? You're on the court. It's after a game. But it is funny sometimes, though, how some of the reactions that people have, like our social media MSG networks, they said that the constant question we see is just how
tall is this
guy?
Dude? Why is he taller than players on the team? This is why.
And how come he didn't play in the NBA? Yeah. How bad was he?
Oh, bad enough to not make the NBA, which makes you a normal human being. Now, real quick, guys, forgot to mention, all week, I didn't tell you on or off the air, that I saw a New York Knickerbocker at dinner the other night.
In the wild?
In the wild, yeah.
No.
What?
I just had flashbacks. Please don't bring back In the Wild.
Oh, I'm not bringing back. No, In the wild.
What's wrong with In the Wild?
It got bad. It started.
I saw my cousin at the deli.
Yeah. No, it started going crazy.
You mean callers?
Yes.
Yeah.
They started going and we couldn't get away from it.
We don't have to take In the Wild calls.
No, but it started. Alan, it took the phones. We couldn't escape anymore.
That means it's a hit.
By the way,
people wanted to keep hearing the Macarena.
No, you're not wrong, but then they were so bad. Anyways,
all right.
I won't say where I was or anything else because I wouldn't want to disrespect the man. No. But I saw Josh Hart in the wild. Big Josh Hart sighting. By the way, what a... Oh, no, I didn't talk to him. It can't be a name drop. I didn't talk to him. Nope, I didn't talk to him. I didn't say hello.
Nothing.
He didn't say nothing. No acknowledgement.
And send him a bottle.
I saw him get up, and I said, that's a tall man. And then I went, oh, it's Josh Hart. Handsome man, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the other day, when we were doing the photo shoot, the aforementioned photo shoot that Danny felt so strongly about, while we were doing that, Larry Johnson walked by down the street.
LJ to you and me.
Yeah, just walking down the street, the Upper West Side by himself. And one of the firefighters was like, LJ! And he threw up a little deuce and kept walking.
Really?
You didn't say anything.
Just by himself.
Didn't say a word, but he was one of the few. He's exactly of the Knicks era that my wife got excited. She's like, "Oh my God, LJ!"
Yeah, I mean it's Larry Johnson.
That's her
Grandma Ma.
childhood. That's Grandma Ma, for God's sake. That's a big man too.
Yes, and a great guy.
Yeah,
we have him on.
We had him on. He was great.
He's fantastic.
Love LJ.
Yeah, great stories.
Don looks like he wants to say interesting and go to break.
No,
he's got that.
He
look,
got the look right. Interesting.
All right,
No,
so now I'm not crazy
I've
today.
envisioned.
Interesting.
What is who was your wife for Halloween again? Cruella and Grandmama. Making out.
Making out.
I'm just saying,
who are
that's
you
the whole
dating?
idea.
Who the hell?
No, I'm not doing it in an erotic way. Just like how interesting it would be. Somebody dressed up as Grandmama, somebody dressed up as Cruella.
But why would they make out? Just them in a. How about just them in a picture?
Just yeah.
Why
No, because it's just
how
a
about
picture.
a photo? That's.
I'm just saying.
We're going to have it by another order of Pantene.
I think he meant Poontine.
Oh, yeah.
Ian is next. Goodbye.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of the night. The one to avoid right now, New England Thruway southbound heading into the Bronx. Right after Boston Post Road, it's a car fire. Only one lane is squeezing by. Traffic is at a standstill from Amerinac Avenue in Westchester County. Better off sticking with the southbound Hutch. Not so great on the Cross Bronx westbound, heading over to the outbound George. Jam from White Plains Road on through. They just picked up a broken down tractor trailer on the upper deck. Inbound George will run you about 10 to 15 for the upper level. Lower level in pretty good shape. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 20 to 30. Outbound Holland will run you 45 minutes. Disney on Ice again tonight at the UBS Arena. Heavy pockets of slowdowns on the Cross Islands southbound, heading over to Hempstead Turnpike from the Bayside Marina in Queens. Seton Hall men's basketball at the Rock in Newark. Bumper to bumper on 280 in both directions, approaching 21 in the Stickle Drawbridge. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Michelle Smallman here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is an ENN special report. Now reporting...
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Peter Rosenberg!
Oh, boy.
How about that?
Really? Is that true what you just
We
said?
just got word from our program director, our Pinhead Suit.
Pinhead
That
Suit.
he loved In the Wild.
I as a P1, may I say,
fan,
I enjoyed it too.
No, we enjoyed the concept.
It was the randomness
fun.
of it.
But what happened is we'd start taking calls on it, and then people would be getting like Z-list celebrities.
People ruin it.
People ruined. I mean,
They did.
You know that time I went and got gas and Crazy Eddie was there.
No, or then
Like,
it would
that's,
be,
you know.
or then it would be like, I went to a meet and greet and Alex Rodriguez was there. We're like, well, it was a meet and greet.
Yeah,
that's not in the wild.
wild.
So they either didn't understand the word celebrity or they didn't understand wild.
In the wild is like I'm at Gristides and there's Jennifer Aniston.
But Peter, the last part Peter made was it wasn't that the celebrities weren't A-list. It was like, I went to a Broadway play and that's not in the wild.
Yeah.
You're missing the
I think
point
it all
in the
started. I think I remember how it started. I believe it started, Don, the day I saw Seinfeld walking through Central Park.
Yes.
And I went,
that's random.
I went, wow. I mean, it's New York. It's not a shock. But I went to see that level walking right down the street in Central Park and go, that's a big in the wild spot.
Yeah.
And once that phrase came out, we all said, in the wild's fun.
Well, but I saw Anthony Volpe in the parking lot of Yankee Stadium.
That's not in the wild.
No, that's in his habitat.
Yeah, or I saw DJ LeMahieu through his window when I was in his bushes. That again,
that's creepy.
That you're now committing a crime, sir.
That's just
not
you stalking.
You are wild,
that's
criminal. That's not in the wild. All right, welcome.
Can I vote to bring it back though?
Well, you know
in
what?
limited quantities.
I'm telling you.
No caller input.
No. Wait, no caller input.
Yeah, no caller input.
So I had to just
we just in the wild. Hey, by the way,
and what you're doing is we just need to have a more rigorous screening policy.
Yeah. We probably have to upgrade our screening policy.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, us talking about it will lead to after ENN from 6:30 to 7 because we're full frontal. We're going to have callers about it, and we're going to see how it goes. I don't think you can do it without the callers, though. I think you don't want to start limiting and say you're not allowed to weigh in on this.
Tweet only.
Tweet only?
Tweets.
Ooh, no, that's an interesting.
And then
we'll
can
read
review and read.
Yeah. Therefore, we can decide what makes it and what doesn't.
Point.
Oh, and then the YouTube comments.
And then we have YouTube comments as well.
I like that.
I wonder if they've already started reacting.
Oh, you know what?
I saw LL Cool J at St. Albans Park in Queens. That's a pretty cool one.
That's not bad.
That's very good.
And to see LL Cool J in Queens, of all places, where he's from, that's neat. But you didn't say, I was at LL Cool J's house.
Right.
And I saw that's not the same thing.
Right. I went to a they were filming CSI.
Yeah, right, and I waited outside his trailer.
Yeah, no.
And eventually
that's again, you're in the habitat.
I waited outside of MSG and John Cena walked out after Raw. We know.
See, that's again, you're in the zoo if you see somebody there, right? Because you're supposed to see them. You're people watching. In the wild is when they're out. They're
exactly.
They're away from the zoo.
Listen, trust me. I know. I've seen giraffes in the zoo. I've seen giraffes in the wild. Different experience.
Really?
Well, yeah. I went on safari. Remember?
Well,
I went on safari. Oh, it was before I worked here, but I went on safari.
Okay. I didn't remember.
2012. Unbelievable experience. I could not recommend it more.
Really?
The safari experience?
No.
Oh, I mean, awesome. Now, if Don could make a trip to Minnesota, it would be a miracle. So it's hard for me to recommend. Well, I'm just sorry.
Got back from California.
He just spent a whole week.
But you're not taking the family anywhere. Nancy's not a big traveler. You got to travel already for work. I'm not speaking out of school here. You're not taking the family to Kenya or South Africa. I'm calling it right now. The La Grecas on the Serengeti ain't happening.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, could you see him there though? I'm here with my family.
It's very fair.
But now I think you do it. Now, I think if Don got home one day and Nancy said, you know what, Don, I've been thinking about it. I'm down. Let's go this summer. I think Don would be in.
Well, we'd go to the Great Adventure Safari.
Well, and again,
the monkeys walk right onto your car.
And that's in the wild of Jace.
Yeah, it's a Jace.
But when you're literally in the wild and you drive up and you got no windows on your car, on the thing, you're just staring, and you just see a lion 40 feet away, you go, wow, that's in the wild. We're in the wild.
In the wild. And if for some reason you saw LL Cool J there, that would also count as in the wild.
Here we go. Let me start off ENN tonight. Well, welcome to ENN, by the way.
You ever watch YouTube?
Ray-Ro.
Let's say good evening to Alan and Don.
If ifs were a spliff,
we'd all be high.
The way you did that.
Good evening to Don.
Get to stepping.
Good evening to Don.
Ty, do it from the bathroom. Have fun.
And lastly to Griffin.
What, Peter?
I can't get over it. It's the most aggressive.
It might have been
just flexed a little.
It's like the other ball dropped. It was just that was his moment.
I'm going to show you guys. You want to see the physical? Alan.
That was a visual.
Yeah, by the way, that was something. That was something. Alan, here's my other physical. You're doing the shoulders up thing. Here's the other. I'll put it this way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what? Mm-hmm.
Get to stepping.
Yeah.
That's the Kronk.
What, Peter?
Glasses off.
It's
what, Peter?
Just take it off like one hand.
Like the next word out of your mouth.
Right. Is that.
Oh, pass your face in. Rosenberg. Had enough of you and your nonsense playing by drops. All right, everybody. A.J. Brown and the Eagles, the saga that never ends.
But they're winning.
Well, hours after that video came out, what was the name of the show? I kept talking about it. What was my man who did the talk show? Janky Rondo.
Janky. Yeah.
Janky Rondo. The Edward R. Murrow of our time. After he did the big appearance with Janky Rondo, and he called the rest of his life outside of his family an ish show.
Oh.
A lot of people had a lot to say. Now, here's A.J. Brown explaining himself.
And we have to continue to get better and try to find new ways. So that's where the frustration comes in, because it's not about winning, you guys. I want to win, yes. I want to help contribute as well, do our thing on offense as well. I think that's fair.
All right, but that's not about an ish show. Wanting to win doesn't mean.
No, but he added.
Oh, what he said?
It's just I want to win, but I want to contribute to it.
Oh, you're true. You're
so
right.
he's saying we're winning, but I don't feel like I'm contributing to it, which is I feel left out. I want to be part of it. And some people could look at that and think he's being selfish.
Well, that's the only way to look at it, because you are winning. So you could be, I wish I was a part of it, but to call it the blank show that he called it.
That part.
That's and by the way, this is where I get frustrated with sports talk, right? Or in these conversations. An athlete says something like this, and then everybody's got to fill time with it. So, you got to get people on TV. The loud mouth, bloviating, rambling, screaming, talking heads got to say, he's a bad guy, he's selfish, he's all these things. The fact of the matter is, it's a human emotion. Even if your team is winning, you won a Super Bowl last year, you might go back. It is a human emotion to say, I'd like to be involved more, Don. And also to say, I'd even be worried that we won't be able to keep this up if I'm not more involved. Long-term for us to win, but all he has to do is frame it differently. He's just framed it really bad.
He's just awkward with it, but it's also, if you think about it, we do this. Like Aaron Judge has a poor game in the playoffs, but they win. And it's like, everybody else did well, but Aaron Judge, when's he going to bring it to the table? When's he going to do something?
Right. We do it in reverse.
We do that stuff, and I think
it's ego.
Yeah, of course it's ego.
It's all it is. It's ego getting in the way.
Wouldn't you want to be involved? Wouldn't you also feel like, yeah, it's great, we're getting great ratings, but it'd be nice if I could talk instead of just do the updates.
Well,
right? I wish I could do more. I could bring more to the table.
Well, listen,
we could do even more. We could do it even better.
I know when I had a couple years ago at WrestleMania, things were moving around. The company was changing who's doing what and who's position, who was leading and things like that. And I got to WrestleMania and I was like, oh, you're doing a couple interviews here. And then I basically sat in catering watching on TV. Now, I didn't go pouting out loud and make a scene.
But
you sit there watching the monitor going, well, I want to be on the show.
Well, yeah, of course.
I just want to hear that the numbers were great.
Hey,
I want to be on the show.
Let's do an apples for apples comparison.
All right, here we go.
All right. The Michael Kay show becomes number one.
Yeah, I remember.
A few years back.
Yeah, a big part of it. Sure.
And we all got interviewed and were asked for comment, mostly Michael, but they'd ask Peter, me. And what if there was an article and the article said that I said, you know what, the thing, it's great being number one, but my name not being on the show, it really bothers me that my name's not on the show. If that's the first thing you say, wouldn't I come across as just ungrateful that you finally get to be on a number one show, you beat Francesa, and the first thing out of my mouth is my name's not on the show? You would be like, boy, I guess LaGreca's an egomaniac, man. I could feel like, yeah, I wish my name was on the show. I made that clear. Peter made that clear during the course of the run. But if that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth when I'm being interviewed, when I'm on a show that hit number one, I think everybody would have the right feeling to say, really, that's what's on your mind?
Yeah.
That's
not to say it's an unreasonable feeling. It's the bad timing.
I get it. But I also, while I agree that his manner of putting it out there was awkward and comes off terrible. I can also understand as a competitor.
Well, both.
Yeah. There's that thought in the back of your mind. It doesn't mean you have to say it, but there's that thought in the back of your mind. We're winning, but I want to catch some touchdowns. I want to be part of this thing. I feel like I'm not doing anything to help.
And also, you have a limited.
I feel useless.
And also, your career as a pro athlete, as a wide receiver, is a limited window.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw.
People saying to you, "Hey, Brown, you're gonna catch a ball? What are you doing?" And they're winning without you. They don't need you. You hear that stuff.
Now, I've been reading Jordan Raanan book.
Yep.
I'm just finishing it. So I'm just to the part of it, the Manningham catch in the second Super Bowl against the Patriots. You don't think every other wide receiver, including Victor Cruz and Hakeem Nicks, were like, boy, I wish it was me that made that catch.
Wouldn't need the help.
Right. Well, honestly, like that's one of the great catches in the history of the Super Bowl.
Yes, it is.
Right? They win the Super Bowl. They lift the Vince Lombardi trophy, and I interview Victor Cruz or Hakeem Nicks, and the first thing he says, well, boy, I wish it was me and not Manningham. Like, you'd be like, that's a bad guy.
Or I could have
But
made
you
that catch.
know, I am sure they both are thinking, boy, it wouldn't have been nice if I could. When Plexico Burress caught the game-winning touchdown, I'm sure everybody was like, Steve Smith was probably like, boy, I wish that was me. How cool would it be if I caught the game-winning touchdown?
Well, you know what funny thing with
But you don't say it.
But the funny thing with Plex is that we interviewed him one time a couple of years ago, and we talked about, the helmet catch and everything, and his whole thing is like, you know who had to catch the touchdown, though, right? Like, he even was like, people talk about that catch and forget, I'm the guy with the touchdown.
Right. But that's years after the fact. That's fine. If Brown years later, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, goes, the one thing I really stunk about that year is they never threw me the football.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense, right? Wouldn't it make sense? But imagine if right after the Super Bowl, the first thing Plexico says is, I got the game-winning touchdown. Yeah. Well, what'd you think about that helmet catch? Who cares about the helmet catch? I caught the game-winning touchdown. That's a bad guy.
Did that helmet catch give you 6? Because it didn't. Mine did.
Now a couple things here. First of all, one more clip from AJ.
So me making light of my situation on Twitch with my friend, that's something I'm not apologizing for. Because like I said, if you got eyes, you can see that. That's me trying to laugh through my situation.
True.
By the way, he making light of my situation.
And he wasn't sitting there like, Janky Rondo. Let's talk about this. He said, oh man, it's an ish show. It wasn't too bad. Now, just to give you some context here, he arrived in Philly in 2022, and in 22 and 23, he 145 targets in 22, 158 in 23, 1,500 yards in each season, 11 TDs and 7 TDs.
Mm-hmm.
In 24, he played 13 games. 97 targets for the year, 1,079 yards, 7 TDs. So far this year, he's been targeted 54 times, 31 receptions, and 3 touchdowns. He's not far off the pace from last year.
No, it's right there.
It's like a little behind the pace from last year, but he might have been unhappy last year as well.
He was, remember?
It started at the end of last year?
It started last season.
Did he score in the Super Bowl?
Don't remember.
Let me look up his playoff numbers.
Pretty much everybody scored, right, in that game.
Oh, yeah, that was when the book came out on the sideline, was last year.
Yes,
started with
that's
the book
what
nonsense.
he started reading books, right, reading all the
But both things
self-help
could be
books.
true. You could be unhappy and want to do more, but you know what? Keep it to yourself. And I just wonder, are we beyond the whole, I thought it was on a podcast. I didn't know anybody listening to that.
No,
are we beyond that now?
Yeah,
what I say to my friend on his, like that's the other thing, too, is if you don't know that everybody's going to see this and everybody's going to react to it.
Playoffs. Last year in the playoffs, he was targeted in 4 games. He was targeted 23 times. He had 12 receptions for 163 yards and 2 scores.
I would think that's good.
No.
4 games, 12 catches?
That's like, what, 5,
That
6?
could be one good game.
Yeah,
that's one good game for a stud wide receiver.
That's not a lot of targets.
12, 163?
Per game. Think about it.
Per game. Think about how low that is.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's 40 yards a game. And a couple
more
TDs.
than I got.
No, that's for sure.
I just don't like guys doing that.
No, listen, it's not the right thing to do.
But we do live.
If he's not happy, though, the Giants should certainly be more than happy to bring him in and put him on the opposite side of Malik Neighbors for Jackson Dart. He's perfect for what the Giants need. Agree or disagree?
No, I agree.
Exactly.
I just don't know how you make that happen.
No, I'm just saying, but if he's not happy, get out.
All right, well,
Diva receiver.
Paul Skenes, your National League Cy Young Award winner.
Well deserved.
Correct.
He dodged the conversation about leaving the Pirates. Of course, he remains with the Pirates. He's under their control for the rest of the decade. But he pushed back against a report. Let's hear from Skenes being asked about being a Yankee.
I got shown the tweet and didn't really think anything of it, and I got some texts about it. I'm on the Pirates. My goal is to win with the Pirates. I love the city of Pittsburgh. The fans are hungry to have a winner in Pittsburgh, and I want to be a part of the group that did that. I think about it the same way that, when I was at the Air Force Academy, we had never been to a conference championship, and then my sophomore year, we ended up winning the conference. We had never finished top 4 in the conference before that. Pittsburgh is the way that fans see us outside of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is not supposed to win. There are 29 fan bases that expect us to lose, and I want to be a part of the group. I want to be a part of the 26 guys that change that.
Everything he said there was pitch perfect.
That's called the opposite.
I need to know the timeline of everything. Is it just that people know the history, and I know his girlfriend bought an apartment in New York? Like, everybody's putting these timelines together, but has he ever said, I want to be a New York Yankee?
According to Pirates teammates, yes. That's what the story says.
But he's saying not
that
so
a
fast.
Pirates teammate, again, anonymous, said that's what he has said. Now, you don't know if this conversation is one of those, random, this place, they don't pay anybody. So, maybe they were playing the Yankees and it was like, you might end up with them if there's everywhere I'd want to go, it'd be certainly there. It makes sense. That kind of thing. They know their fate there. What he's saying is pie in the sky optimism about the Pirates being a contender one day. And maybe before I'm gone, we will be. And that's what I'd like to do before I go. So he's focusing on, he's doing all the right things. He's focused on the right now. But there's nobody in their right mind that thinks he's going to sign an 8-year, $400 million deal to stay in Pittsburgh.
But we
know their ownership's not going to do that.
But next year, at the end of next year, or maybe during the year, they might lock the players out. The owners are going to fight for a salary cap. This is why they're fighting for a salary cap. That teams like Pittsburgh can hold on to their players and be in contention, just like the Yankees, just like the Red Sox, just like the Phillies, to sign them. And then he can make a decision because there'll be a max you can offer. And if he gets the same deal with the Yankees as he did with Pittsburgh, and then he can go to the Yankees, you don't have a kick coming.
Yeah.
But if he goes to the Yankees because the Pirates just can't afford him, that's what the salary cap can solve.
Isn't that where everything changed in sports when caps came in and teams pretty much knew this is how much you can offer, to the point where the NBA had to change it so that the home team could actually offer more.
Right.
More years or whatever it is to keep the hometown player, so that it was more of an incentive to stay where you were rather than leave. That's why you have what you have now in cap sports. Baseball will be there one day, to a point where I'd rather stay in Pittsburgh because they can offer me one more year and another $40 million more than another team can. So you take that deal because it makes sense.
And because of the cap, it really just comes down to, am I good at my job to help my team win? Not I have a $150 million payroll less than the team I'm battling with in my division.
Right.
So because you might decide I'm going to go to the Yankees, there's no way I can win here.
Right.
But at least with a cap, the idea is that now they have a chance to win.
You
now,
can't outspend me, but you can still have a better franchise that's more attractive.
Now, in the NHL, I don't want to stay in Buffalo because they never win.
Yeah.
So sometimes the cap doesn't solve your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Cap hasn't solved the Jets' problem. They haven't been to the playoffs. It's going to be 15 straight years.
Yep.
But in a perfect world where everybody's even, hey, it shouldn't be about just the money. It should be about where he wants to go and where he's got the best chance to win, not who can afford to pay me. And a Major League Baseball team not being able to afford to keep a star that they drafted and cultivated, then that's what they call minor leagues.
I would like to make a 2-point play with the New England Patriots tonight, please.
All right,
Thank
you know what? I mean, it's not.
I know
It's not all the way out, but you know what? You're showing me something.
It's still a 5-point swing, and what is me trying to get back in the game?
If you had guts, you'd go 3 and then it's even. But that's all right. A little guts is fine sometimes.
I started the day. The reason this is uncomfortable is I started the day thinking, kind of like the Jets, that number's so big. But now I'm thinking about Justin Fields, and what are they going to do to respond to the Patriots? And could this be the week that the Pats fans get to just celebrate being back? It's just all
tonight's the coronation.
The coronation.
You know this.
On like Donkey Kong.
Oh my God.
Reason
40-3, and they'll be just dancing all over Foxborough.
Is there absolutely no logical reason to pick the Jets? And in this NFL season,
that's where you're going.
Like, how the hell did that happen?
Well, you know what I want you to do then? I want you to put them on the table then. While you're at it for 3 on the Jets, go ahead and throw 2 on the Commies against Miami, because there's no logical reason to think. And every casual is on the Dolphins. They just beat the Bills. The Commanders got trounced on national television. Madrid, no home field. Dolphins. But then Vegas comes up and goes,
What are they giving you?
All of a sudden, Commanders went outright. And you're like, how does that make any sense? Show me something.
What's the number?
It's Dolphins -2.5. To me, I put my apartment right now on the Dolphins. That's how I feel. But to your point about how weird the league is, the second you think you know something, Mariota.
That was my week last week.
Good point. Good point. Commanders 2-point play.
Oh my God, he's not doing it. He's not doing it. 3-point play.
Wow.
He's in for.
Look at you.
Wait, so you're in the lead right now.
He's
in the lead. He's throwing 3 on the Jets.
Feeling it.
2 on the Commies.
Feeling it right now.
Now, do you realize that if he were to somehow hit just even both of those, don't even worry about his third game. Even if he hits both of those, that means he's going on a run for the whole thing. It's over. We're never catching him.
He'd also, by the way, on Monday, insufferable.
No.
That's not his way.
I'm not.
No.
First of all, that's not my way.
He's not K.
No, it's not your way. But when you just throw 2 out on the table on a Thursday night.
He threw 2 out on a Thursday night.
Seriously. You are going to have to say something about it.
We've never seen this
peacocking right into the studio.
Because it's we'll see. But I'm not that.
Look at that. Now,
wow.
All right, I got a couple of things to get to real quick.
Do it. We're good.
Please. This is ENN.
We're on until 7 o'clock. We got time.
Oh.
First, let's hear from Luka Doncic on the firing of Nico Harrison in Dallas. Of course, Nico was the GM when Doncic was famously traded. Here's Luka.
City of Dallas, the fans, players, they always have a special place in my heart. I thought I was going to stay there forever, but I didn't. So they'll always be a special place for me. Always I can call it home. But right now I'm focused on the Lakers, trying to move on.
You know what he's doing.
Obviously.
He's going to talk all about the Lakers now because that's what's important.
Now,
so
I want to tell you something.
He acknowledges, he does checks all the boxes. Acknowledges the fans. I love the city.
And nothing.
Never mention anything else. No, nobody by name.
He's still mad about Nico Harrison taking the beer out of his hand. Now, I want to.
It was actually Michael Finley, I think, who did that.
It was Finley? No,
I believe it was Finley.
It was Nico.
Are you sure? It was
Michael Finley?
Yeah, that was Finley.
Fire him.
Who's still there, by the way. Michael Finley's now running stuff.
Why did I just watch those?
Yeah, no, it was Finley.
Was it Nico?
It was Finley.
You sure? Go look it up.
I'm almost positive.
I want you to look, Jacob, because I swear I watched it yesterday. It was not Michael. I know. I had an authentic Michael Finley jersey.
So you know, if anybody knows Michael Finley,
that's number
it's you.
That's number 4. I love it. I have the jersey. Now, here's my issue. I went on the First Take program when this all happened.
I recall. Confirmed Finley.
And Alan, it is Finley? Wow.
Confirmed.
And Alan and I spoke. And we had a long chat about the Nico situation in which Alan and I just traded some ideas back and forth. And I went on the air on First Take with some quote-unquote basketball heavyweights who all certainly are more respected than little Peter Rosenberg on this subject. And I said, to me it sounds crazy that this is a Nico thing. This has to be an ownership thing. And let's not forget, quietly, this is one of the worst ownership groups in sport. There are a lot of things that make this an awful ownership group. And I don't want to say I got laughed out of the conversation, but I got a little bit of like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm just going with common logic. You're telling me that Nico Harrison would be able to just screw the owner and get rid of Doncic?
Now, we all know that because he's talked about it. Nico talked about it. This was in his mind. Like, we got to give this guy $450 million. Like, really doing, and we know he doesn't work out. He does, like, all the things that they knew about his habits. There was some cause for pause. But you don't make that kind of move without an owner saying that they agree with it. Right? Nobody in their right mind does that.
I suppose there's a world in which they said, are you sure?
But here's how you also
We're not so sure. And he said, I'm sure.
Also,
I guess
with
that could have happened.
Nico Harrison now being fired, which we all kind of felt was inevitable. Once Anthony Davis kept getting hurt, that was like, okay, like it was a disaster. And they're bad this year. Even though they won the lottery, got Cooper Flagg. But guess who's back? Back again. Cuban's back. Tell a friend. Mark Cuban was pushed out. Remember, he sold, but he was supposed to stay involved in ownership. I mean, in basketball operations. He was supposed to run things. He was not advised or part of any of those decisions because he said he would have never let that stuff happen, that he would have said no. But he was pushed out when it comes to the hierarchy of running basketball. Now he's back. The new ownership realized that was a mistake. We should have Mark involved. and now he's back involved again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where everything has come full circle, just without Luka.
That will do it for ENN on this Thursday evening.
What happened there?
I wanted to play you this audio I have of Torts talking about Larry Brooks.
Okay.
But we could do that on the other side.
We could do that on the other side. It's Don Hahn Rosenberg till 7. Then it's Ty Butler on ESPN New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, it's Michael K. talking to you about my friends at PC Richard & Son. They're local, family-owned, and I trust them, and you can too. Right now, get Black Friday deals throughout the store. And with their holiday price guarantee, your price is protected. If the price goes lower from now through December 24th, they will match it. You can't beat it. Plus, you get fast and free delivery. PC Richard & Son, the company you can trust for over 116 years. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games are the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
Like me, your Aunt Jules. I told you I didn't need a gift this year, but I secretly really want one.
Or me, your neighbor Frank. I hope you didn't forget I'm coming to your holiday party tonight.
Or me. Why does no one ever think of the voiceover guy? Anyway, New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games have more winners and top prizes up to $5,000. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-471-9773. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-471-9773. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-471-9773. That's 800-471-9773.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
We're not talking about Belichick seriously enough.
He's a horrible talent evaluator because he's evaluating people based on some stuff that he did when he was a coach of Cleveland. That's the problem. He hasn't been able to hit the refresh button. Like, how many of these modern, young, innovative minds can he attract? Who wants to work underneath the way that he treats his assistants? You know what I'm saying? How he talks to people. The environment in which he creates.
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Well, you're breaking out all REO Speedwagon. Good for you, man. And then why am I vegging on their name? The Breakfast in America. Supertramp. I'm getting old. I had a senior moment.
Do you
Supertramp.
like this song?
This song I can take or leave, but I do like the album Breakfast in America.
Well, it
which
has,
this song is
two
on.
huge hits on it.
No, you don't like Supertramp?
This song is this is a great song. I love this song.
Yeah, it's okay.
The story it tells.
I don't know.
Big lyrics guy.
I think their drummer just died like last week.
No.
All right, so Peter teased it at the end of E&N. John Tortorella, of course, had his clashes with Larry Brooks, who passed away earlier this morning at the age of 75. Torts was on The Point on ESPN and spoke about Larry Brooks.
Yeah, see, I don't even think of the clips. This is a man that just passed. Jordan, Joanna, 2 grandkids, 2018 Hall of Famer. He's an icon. We had our disagreements, right, along the way. But the thing I always respected about Larry is no matter what the day brought, him and I disagree. And we had a lot of disagreements. But we disagree and we go at it, but he'd be there the next day, right? Ready to ask another question. He'd be there face to face. I just had so much respect on how hard he worked at his job. We're both trying to do our business, right? I need to protect my hockey team sometimes. He has information and he has information. That's one thing. He worked at it to get information. And sometimes we butted heads, but it was never a personal thing.
I can't tell you the importance from a journalistic perspective, whether it's writing articles, covering hockey, or doing a talk show, is showing up. You know, it's so easy to throw bombs from a million miles away, but the true respect that athletes and coaches are going to have is that if I kill you, but I'm in the clubhouse the next day, I'm in the dressing room the next day, I'm in the locker room the next day,
face the music.
They're going to respect that. You know, it's so easy to do this job, and it's coming from somebody that covered teams from a journalistic perspective and also as a talk show host and now as a play-by-play guy. Showing up is more than half the battle if you're there. And you'll be given some leeway to be critical if you show up the next day.
That's the part. Some guys were masterful at dropping the bomb in the newspaper and then just conveniently off the next day.
Yeah.
And so the backup had to be there to get the reaction and the quotes and all that stuff. And so they can't wait for you to come in. And that was one thing that I learned early on is that you don't do that. If you're going to put your name on something, you have to be there the next day to face the music. And even though they're all mad at you, later on they let you know that they respect the fact that you stood there and took the heat, knowing that everybody's going to be mad, but no one can just deny what you said. They're just mad that you said it.
And I'll say this because I know we talk about how the trend in sports radio has been like be super fan. And you go nuts because of your fandom, and that's kind of what sports radio has become, for better or worse. You take it or leave it myself, but that's how people want to do it, and they're making a living doing it. And they'll always say about the first guy, Joe Benigno, who worked overnights years ago. He still does stuff over at the Fan on the weekends, as the guy that kind of started that because he's always a super fan. I work with Joe. Joe would bash Tom Glavine, kill him. And because he wouldn't start until midnight, you know what he would do? The next day, he'd go to Shea or Citi Field. He'd be in the locker room and stand at Tom Glavine and talk to him. So that showed me something. He'd kill him on the air, but then he'd be in the locker room the next day. And the players respect that. They don't like to get bashed, but they're going to respect you if you show up, and you'll be surprised. They'll have a little back and forth, but the fact that you were there, they respect you a lot more from it. Again, it's easy to throw softballs over the fence, but if you go into the yard, there's always going to be respect. So he talked more about the clips with Larry and how they don't matter today.
The accolades that he's receiving, the award in 18 is so well deserved as far as, look at his resume. He grinded. He's a grinder and turned into an icon in this business. And he's a colleague. Let's face it, coaches, NHL, media, we're all colleagues. We're all working together here. And he's a colleague of mine. We struggled at certain times, but there was never any lack of respect as far as how he went about his business. And it's a big loss. I get the stuff, the video of him and I. That doesn't fit here, though. He passed this morning.
And also, like I said, a lot of those altercations happened when he was in Tampa. That's 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I would think people grow over time.
Yeah.
John Tortorella 20, 25 years ago is different than John Tortorella today. on his conversations with Larry's family.
I feel for the family. I've had a number of conversations with Jordan. Aaron Portzline from Columbus texted me a few days ago and said, hey, Larry's struggling. I immediately text Larry. Jordan texts me back on a different number. Well, it was on Larry's phone. He says, Larry can't get to it. And he kind of explained to me what was going on. And this is 5 weeks ago. This all came up with Larry, and it tore him apart. And so Jordan and I talked a little bit, and I just wanted to try to help out in any way possible that I could. And we've continued the discussion the past couple of days. We talked before the show here, before I came over here, and just want to send our condolences to the family, the grandkids, 14 and 12, Joanna, Jordan. That's what we have to remember here, not the crap that you see and gets sensationalized, I think. It's the man. He deserves that respect, and it's hard. It's sad.
I'm glad he's saying that because you do know, obviously, that when the news comes out, there are people who don't know Larry. And so immediately what comes up are those moments that went viral. And so that kind of gets celebrated more than the things that you and I talked about at the very top of the show because we both knew him personally.
Right.
And that's, again, what you want to be. And I think what Torch is saying there is this should be what we talk about, not, we had an altercation and it was on camera and it went viral and everybody finds that to be entertaining, but this isn't a time to be focused on the entertaining part.
And finally, the respect he had for Larry.
Tremendous amount of respect. Back and forth, him and I went, but it was a relationship that bonded because of that, I think.
And the love of hockey that you both had.
He's a lifer. Look at it. I can't go over it right now. It takes too much. But look what he did to grind to get where he went to. And
in the biggest media market in the world.
Yes.
The most popular team in all eyes.
And Steve, he's face to face with you. That's what I loved about him.
Because not everybody is.
No, and that's what drives me crazy about the media. I think sometimes they just don't have enough guts to do it. Larry, no matter what the day happened with him and I, and a number of things happened, let's face it, with him and I, but he'd show up the next day just ready to go to business. He didn't hold any grudges. I didn't either. And we go about it again. But he was there. He was there. He wasn't on the outside writing stories and not showing up in the locker room or not showing up to the press conference. That's what I loved about him. He worked at it and he wasn't afraid of anything and he voiced his thoughts. And how can't you respect that? No matter if you agree with it or not, how can't you respect the man if he's going to put it out there?
And of course, the other voice was Steve Levy on the point.
Great.
Yeah. Larry loved the game. And again, that's why when you cover something with passion and you want it to hold it to a high standard. And when you feel like something is wrong, you say it. But you also hear things that are happening with a team and you take it upon yourself to believe that this has to be reported. Whether or not it's going to blow up a locker room, whether or not it's going to impact the team, whether or not it's going to upset people. It doesn't matter. This is a story. This is hockey. He wanted hockey to be a main sport. He always felt it belonged right there. The Big Four. It's not like hockey has fallen off. No, it's very important. He covered in the 80s when it was regularly a back page story in New York because both teams were very good. The Devils had just come in. It was important to him to keep it at the same standard as if you covered baseball or covered basketball or covered football. You don't cover it softer or less because it's not considered as major as the other three. He felt it deserved all that coverage. And, that's why when you did something else, he would always joke with you about a friend of mine said that when he moved on to baseball, he's a national baseball writer now. Mm-hmm. And Larry used to tease him all the time about how you had to go to a lesser sport to get big. Just mess with him,
No, I always think about Larry when people I remember Colin Cowherd would say that, people that cover hockey are usually kids and they learn how to do it and then eventually move on to a bigger sport. And I'd be like, that's so disrespectful because there are so many people.
It's not untrue.
Listen, obviously, if you write for a paper, that there's a good chance you look at like Pat Leonard, who covered the Giants covered the Rangers for the Daily News, and it was a promotion to cover the Giants. We get that.
But there
are people that are lifers in the sport that they cover because it's still covering the Rangers is still important. Covering hockey is still important. And he's in the Hall of Fame because of that coverage.
Don,
it could be a stepping stone, but it's also depending on how much you love that there are people that choose to work.
Can I share with you that the year that Newsday moved me, and I don't want to say promoted, they moved me from the Islanders beat to the Knicks beat, which was my dream. When I first got into the business, my dream was to be a Knicks beat writer. But I had loved covering hockey so much, and I was so embedded by that point, like nationally, I didn't want to go. Right. I said no. I don't want to do it. My father just passed away. I wasn't ready to make a transition like that in my life, and I just was, no, I love what I'm doing. I don't want to change. And Larry's one of the ones that said, no, you take the job. You got to do that. It's who you are. And, like that's, so I don't like that idea either of, hockey's just a stepping stone for a lot of young writers. There's a guy, Mike Russo. You know Mike Russo, right? In Minnesota.
Yeah, sure.
Mike's one of my good friends. We go all the way back to them. Mike Russo actually grew up in Long Island, although he's a big superstar hockey writer in Minnesota now. But, Mike's one guy that stayed in it, never left. And he had many opportunities to do it, but he didn't. A couple other guys that were in our group as we were young writers back then have all moved on to the sports that sort of were our sports, but we started in hockey. But I'm the first one to admit, I never really wanted to go at that moment because I felt so connected to the sport. And I thought there was some kind of a value to being, this is the only thing I've done my whole life. Right? 40 years I did this. Right? I can't say that about hockey, but the sport has stayed in my life. Both my kids play it. Two of my kids, I should say, play it. So it's still very much in my life. But
you see how strongly he feels. He only considers the kids who play hockey to be his children.
That was terrible what I just did.
No, it was actually pretty funny.
It was a very terrible slip, too.
Close it out. Your phone calls, 1-800-919-3776. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 7. Then it's Ty Butler on ESPN New York.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel. Because with FanDuel's Thursday Touchdown Jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you got to do is place an anytime touchdown scorer bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Peter for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over and physically present in New York, opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For all with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about. And to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans,
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damien Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games are the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
Like me, your Aunt Jules. I told you I didn't need a gift this year, but I secretly really want one.
Or me, your neighbor Frank. I hope you didn't forget I'm coming to your holiday party tonight.
Or me. Why does no one ever think of the voiceover guy? Anyway, New York Lottery's holiday scratch-off games have more winners and top prizes up to $5,000. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This is probably my favorite.
This is not going to make me really sad.
This is in the Rosenberg jukebox in the house.
It is.
Yeah, it is on 45, right in the crib.
I don't want to give a lot of details on the scene because it's a little off brand. But the movie Magnolia uses this song. You ever see Magnolia?
No.
Of course. I watched the beginning recently.
The scene at the bar where
But aren't
William
they cutting around to different things or no?
Yeah, but William H. Macy's at the bar and he's got a thing for the bartender. Mm-hmm. But when they first introduced this song's in the background, it
hits.
There's just something about a song in a movie that just resonates and just makes
because you have the visuals with the music, right?
And you can't even describe it.
Now I got to see this.
But when you see it, and the use of that song is pretty big. All right, let's close out your calls. 1-800-919-3776. Let's talk to Jay in the Bronx. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Jay?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call, as always.
No problem.
I had an intriguing thought about the Giants and their head coach search in relation to the game they have now. Matt LaFleur is on the hot seat. If you guys figure out a way to beat them and get him out of there, he might just be the guy he would be the top candidate off the rip. It would be really ironic if you guys could beat him, get him out. He has a great resume when it comes to working with quarterbacks. And I just want to see if you guys thought he would be a good fit for you. I know he's better than anybody you've had since Coughlin, and I always thought he was a really good coach.
No,
it'd be really ironic. Stranger things happen.
It is kind of ironic that the very first game after letting him go, beating him and leading to his dismissal. And I would think that if Green Bay were to fall apart here, it might cost him his job. That would be ironic. Now, the fact that he works with quarterbacks, great. Can he coach? And I think he can. They almost won in the playoffs last year. They came close, right? They had the Eagles up against it. So I think he's a good coach. That's why I love when Alan's asking the questions, like, give me who you think should be the coach. Not who's available. Just give me people.
Yeah.
Because there are guys that might become available. Tomlin, LaFleur, Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. These are guys currently under contract that could be out of jobs.
Yep.
Now, I think Baltimore's going to make a run here, but if they never really catch and miss the playoffs, they might make a change there. Right? Green Bay, same thing. Green Bay was favored to win the Super Bowl after they made the deal for Parsons.
That's right. But the Harbaugh thing in Baltimore sounded more likely early in the season when things really were falling apart. But with Lamar now kind of back, and I think there's this sense of, all right, let's see if they can get some momentum and take the division from Pittsburgh.
Let's go to Tom. He's in upstate New York. You're on ESPN New York. Hi, Tom.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. I love the 70s music because I'm going to relate to the 70s. I grew up in Pittsburgh in the 70s when we had Super Bowl champs and World Series champs.
My goodness.
It was great, and I got spoiled. So I go to the Giants with Tomlin, and I've been defending him for a lot of years, but he hasn't won a playoff game in 10 years, and they get blown out in the playoffs. Yeah. They don't just lose. They get blown out. Cleveland crushed them in Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and that's the first time and the only time Cleveland has won in Pittsburgh in like 40 years. So I think I'm ready for Tomlin to go. However, I've heard from Pittsburgh, they have the draft in Pittsburgh next year, and that the Rooney family, you guys know how they're all into consistency. It might not be the time for the Rooneys to change things up right before the draft comes to Pittsburgh. So a lot of people are thinking they'll hold on to him for another year just because they love that consistency. One other quick quote on Skenes and New York. he's not going anywhere for a couple of years. Pittsburgh will hold on to him, but he is the quintessential athlete. He says and does the right things all the time.
Very judge-like.
And he's great at what he does.
Very judge-like.
So, yeah. Oh, he's judge-like, and being a Pittsburgh guy, he's Sidney Crosby-like. Like Sidney does the same thing. So he's not going to go anywhere until they have to get rid of him. But if they put in a salary cap in baseball, there's going to be a salary floor, and the Pittsburgh owner, he doesn't want to even reach salary floor. So I don't know where that's going to stand in terms of Pittsburgh. Skenes will be there a couple of years, and then he'll be gone to L.A. or the Yankees or whomever.
Tom, so with that in mind, because he's saying all the right things, doing all the right things, he's not going anywhere right away. But when it gets to the point where it's time to move him, you imagine whether it's Cherington or whoever else is running the organization at the time, they'll send him where he wants to go, right? Like as a sort of good, like it's the right thing to do for a guy that did right by us and did all the right things.
Yes, he has been. He's unbelievable when it comes to off the field stuff. He's for a kid who's 20-something years old.
Yeah.
He's acting like he's been around for 15 years. Pittsburgh should do right by him. I hope it's not Cherington. He's never made a good trade. They got to get rid of him and find somebody that they can trade Skenes and get a nice return for.
Well, I will say this, Tom. I would not completely rule out the possibility of it happening sooner than later for this reason. If they don't get a salary cap in the sport and things continue to proceed as is with the CBA, they might want to move him sooner than later to get the biggest package back. Like if you wait until his last year,
controllable,
then there might be teams like the Dodgers and Yankees saying, well, I'll just wait till he's a free agent. I'm not going to give up a bunch just for 1 year rental. But if I got him in control for a couple of years, I might give up a mint for him. And maybe if Pittsburgh has another lost season next year, they might say, now's the time to do it. If we wait till the year he's a free agent, we'll really cut a lot of teams out of this and not be able to get the best back for him. So I would not rule it out. The big thing is what's going to happen with the CBA. Are they going to get a salary cap? Are they going to change the structure to where some of these smaller market teams can compete? Because it's
the floor,
a problem.
the floor that he's saying, though, that's a great point.
But if they have they're going to have to spend to the floor. Now, there are ways to do it. You pick up dead contracts and stuff. But the idea is you're going to have to start spending some money.
You got to pay somebody, right? That's why if they ever get there and he's got to pay him, maybe that's the one guy you do pay. Do you want the Mets, though? Like, Scooble's on the other side of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
He's got a year left before they're going to probably have to move him. The Yankees did it with Soto. Should the Mets? Because they don't have a guy. Should the Mets just try to roll the dice, bring him in, and see if, does he fall in love here, and then we can sign him and keep him here? Because you don't have an ace, and he's an ace.
Well, you're hoping
you
do with these kids, right? But you still don't know.
You don't know.
McLean
You know
can be
him.
that guy.
He's still young, and you know.
Yeah,
would you want it or not? That's what I'm asking.
I would do it, but what's going to happen here? Not knowing what the current landscape is going to be, because boy, that's going to really change things for the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees. If all of a sudden you're going to have to get rid of players to get under the cap,
it's going to be interesting. Usually with a new cap, there's always like that first time amnesty where you can just kind of
you're going to have to do something, right?
The NHL had to do that. You had an amnesty period where you had the ability, I think, to one contract or something where you could just delete it. Just so you can get under the cap.
There's
got to be too hard to do it for some of these teams.
I got to tell you, it feels like baseball needs it, but unlike hockey, it's not like they've got teams that are like hemorrhaging money that are going to come close to folding like you had in hockey, where those Canadian franchises just couldn't because of the taxes and everything couldn't exist.
Yeah.
Are they willing to go to Matt? Are they willing to cancel the season?
And my question is, are they willing to go out on Saturday night for UFC 322? Don?
That's what they certainly are.
Because we're going to be at the Rutherford right across from MSG, 6 to 7:30. Bud Light drafts, bucket special all night. Hanging out with the ESPN crew before the big fights. That's the Rutherford Behays, as Don calls it. The Rutherford from 6 to 7:30. Brought to you by Bud Light. Proud to be the official beer sponsor of the UFC. Bud Light, easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Enjoy Bud Light responsibly. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, so interesting night tonight. It's the Jets and the Patriots.
Big game.
Did we hear yet about the quarterback? Do we have any?
What do you mean? Has he been benched yet?
Who's starting?
I think they're going to trot out Justin.
Big secret.
And then we're going to see what happens. But Don has 3 points on the Jets.
3 on the Jets.
I got 2 points on the Patriots.
I can't win either way now.
And now Alan's going to have to just watch.
Throw something in.
I don't want to. I'm putting the Islanders on.
All right, but that's not until 10, so you got some time to kill. But we'll be back with you tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
We're going to have a show till 6:30 because then we're going to have the Knicks and the Heat. But we're going to have Fraud Alert Friday.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have our picks, although I only have to make one. So Ty Butler's coming up next. Enjoy your evening. Back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock here on ESPN New York.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center,